こいつは楽しめそうだ。
Fighters ready. Engage.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you 186 back again with another podcast. I am here. Shout out to Malta, man. I know I know we waited a little bit too long, but we're just trying to get everything situated. Hey, this is on your co-host, Who We 186, here with the homie Traditionalist 101. Introduce yourself.
My apologies, Malta. my apologies, brother. Yeah, we were trying to get everything, situated and everything prepared. Granted, we should have done that earlier, but I had to work and I had a lot of things to do. It's really hard to get things mixed up and in a timely manner. But yeah, this is the Traditionalist 101, and we are here for another podcast. And I am definitely looking forward to what we're going to be talking about today for tonight. And I definitely have a lot to say. But anyway, dude, your weekend has been a little hectic for you, especially regarding to work.
Yeah, this is what happens when you work for an incompetent company. So that's I'm just gonna leave it at that. Hopefully next week is going. Excuse me, sorry. Hopefully next week is gonna be better. Um, I mean, with that said, it wasn't too busy. I was able to watch. Even both days I was able to watch. Well, no, I watched 3 of the 4 games. Now we're talking about the NFL playoffs. I contend the greatest week in NFL history, in my opinion.
Wait,
You
wait,
had
yeah, go ahead.
you had 4 amazing games, especially the last one, which was arguably it's probably going to be an all-time classic. You know what I mean? And it was just a crazy game. But anyway, let me get the playoff uh picture.
Which is to my surprise, because usually when it comes to sports, you only care about your team. You don't care about anybody else. So
That is true. That is true.
yes.
That is true. But I figure. But the one thing for sure is I do like close games. I do like close games. So let me see. Visit that.
So that's your reason.
Yeah, I like close games, especially the first game. The first game that I watched from work was Dallas and San Francisco, and I partly because I like the fact that even though I believe Dallas is one of the most overrated franchises in the history of sports, I like the fact that they get a lot of attention, and I like the reaction that it creates.
Just so you know, they won Super Bowls. You can't be overrated if you won championships.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But they won jack shit since then. They won nothing since then, and they get the amount of coverage, um, that they get because of it is it doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
So yeah. So as you can see, you see the screen, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Obviously, like I said, four of the best games. The collection of some of the best playoff football that you've seen in the longest time, right? So let's start. We'll start from chronological order. The first game was Tennessee versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati won that game 19-16.
Yeah.
And look, Tannehill used to be the quarterback down here. Like I said, I don't have any hate in my heart for Tannehill. I like Ryan Tannehill,
Mm-hmm.
but he's the reason why they lost that game.
I agree.
He was awful. Um, the first pick was bad, but that last pick just bad. You threw it in the middle of traffic, and you threw it in the middle of the field in traffic. I get it. It was batted down. It was batted up, But even still, like that ball should not have been thrown there. Should not have been thrown there. If he was decent, they win that game. And he made some good throws, but ultimately he's the reason why they lost the game, in my opinion.
And I don't think and I'm pretty sure the team knows it. The whole entire team knows it. When you have a team who been, sticking their heart out there on the field defensively, and all you had to do is just, make accurate throws, and he couldn't do it. And I believe that I'm not saying that he's garbage. I'm not saying that he's garbage, but this season would have at least been, if he had at the very least made it to the AFC Championship. I honestly believe that would have been the season where you could probably upgrade upgrade his status to more than just the average quarterback, in my opinion.
Regard. We all know what makes that team run is Derrick Henry, and I don't know what his yards were. I didn't think he looked that bad. But they overall, I thought they were still able to run the ball. Defense played well. They sacked Joe Burrow 9 times.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like shout out to Joe Burrow. Like that dude's tough as nails, and even with the 9 sacks, still played great. But if he just average, they win. That's it. If he's average, they win. They win that game.
Who, Henry?
No. Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
If Tannehill's average, they win that game.
Yeah. Did you watch the whole game, right?
I watched the ending. I watched most of it.
Okay. Yeah. I was. When he made that throw, I said, come on, dude. Like, my guy. What?
And I've been a Tannehill defender at least when he was down here, because even back then I realized that this dude had nothing around him. The time that we were good, the best when we were good is when he had a running game with Jay Ajayi, right? When we were good, and then obviously they let him go, and Tannehill, I think he got hurt that season, and it was just downhill from there. So. But even then, I think I've been validated into thinking that this dude is not a bad quarterback. He's certainly better than who they had before in Mariota.
Yeah.
Remember when Tannehill got to that team, he wasn't the starter; he was the backup.
Right.
And then Mariota struggled. He came in, and they've been great ever since. The problem is that when it's time for your team to win, you gotta play well. You can't be the reason why they lost, and he was the reason why they lost yesterday. I mean, Saturday.
I agree.
Yeah. So shout out to the Bengals, man. So they won, and then the night game that Saturday was San Francisco and Green Bay. I wasn't able to watch that game because I was at work when the game was near the end. But seeing the highlights, it was essentially a defensive struggle. And pretty much it was just one major play that San Francisco had. Like after giving up that touchdown in the first drive, you figured that Green Bay was going to run all over them.
Yeah, I mean when you're playing at Green Bay and you have to deal with the cold weather, you have to deal with the wind. Obviously, it should have played into their favor, and basically they were winning throughout the whole entire game. Like you saw that they were in full control of that game.
Yeah, but they didn't put points on the board. That's the problem.
Unfortunately, yeah, and unfortunately, you had special teams who got in the way. And here's what I wanted to say this.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Green Bay Packers, and I love Aaron Rodgers, a lot. But here's the thing, though. I honestly believe this was his final. This is probably was his last chance to win a Super Bowl. You had a great defense. You have an outstanding wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? With Jones and Devontae Adams, and all he was doing throughout the whole entire game, kind of reminded me of what Tom Brady did when Gronk finally came back to from injury with New England. He was just being trigger happy. Aaron Rodgers was basically doing the same thing. And to me, when I was paying attention to the game, 49ers did a very outstanding job. They adjusted and started double teaming Adams. Just about in every single play. And what did Rodgers do? Nothing. He did absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, when it comes to that weather, even though I know San Francisco is technically a warm weather team, they're the way that they're constructed to play in that weather. If you can run the ball and you play good defense, yeah, you can survive, and that's what happened. They were able to survive, and it took one play from the special teams and pretty much the last second field goal, and San Francisco won. So you really can't. I mean, really nothing else you can say.
No, there's plenty of stuff that you could say. I blame Aaron Rodgers for this loss too. He is equally as guilty as the special teams. To me, there was no sense of urgency. There was no sense of motivation. There was no energy, and it felt like there.
You know that for a fact.
I saw what I saw.
Okay,
Whenever the 49ers was double teaming his stars, that there were at least 4 occasions where I saw that Aaron Rodgers could have ran with the ball. He could have easily ran with the ball and made a first down, and he decided not to do that. No.
He did that last year. Like he kind of like that part of his game is over.
I'm talking about this year.
Yeah, but last year. Go ahead.
He had plenty of opportunities. Want to know why he didn't want to do it? I'll tell you why. Because he was lack of ambition, and he was afraid to get hit. That's why he was afraid to get hit, and which means that just tell me you don't really want to win. You don't want to win. That means he didn't want to win. If you had the opportunity to run with the ball and get a first down, and you choose not to, you don't want to win. To me, you're not interested in winning the game. To me, all you're trying to do is just be all trigger happy, and throw the ball to Adams and Jones. That's it. And here's what makes things worse, right?
You still got more?
Huh?
You still got more? You still talking?
Yeah. Of course, I'm still talking because how I'm a huge fan of Green Bay, and I'm actually disappointed. And I had to freaking my former boss constantly, texting me over and over again, laughing his butt off because I told him that Green Bay was going to the Super Bowl.
I thought they were gonna win. I thought they were gonna go all the way. But okay.
Wait. You thought they was gonna go all the way too?
Yeah.
So of course I have plenty of stuff to say. Because I felt the exact same way. I thought that they had more than enough, to go to the Super Bowl. This dude was so trigger happy that everybody else he only targeted once, only one time. Cobbs, he only targeted him one time.
Yeah, he struggled.
He only targeted him one time. I think the only other person I don't know who the other wide receiver was. I forgot his name. Daphne or Defani, whatever his name is. I think he targeted him maybe like twice, but he targeted Adams. I think it was 11 times, and I think Jones 10 times.
Well,
they're being double teamed. Why are you still throwing them the ball? Like what are you doing? If everybody is constantly getting double teamed, you need to run with the ball at least a couple of times to take time off the clock and to get a first down. That's all you need to do. And he chose not to do that. So to me, in my opinion, based on what I watched, he didn't care about winning that night. He didn't care about winning. And I don't want to hear this excuse about him doing it last year, but he couldn't do it this year. I don't want to hear that.
No. If you actually let me talk, I would finish my statement. Last year against Tampa Bay, the championship game, the NFC championship game, there were 2 occasions when they were in. I think they were in the red zone. I know they were definitely deep in Tampa Bay territory, where he could have ran the ball when there was no one open, right? But he chose to pass it instead.
Yes.
To Aaron Rodgers 8-9 years ago, runs with that ball, runs with it. I don't think one. Obviously, I think he had the toe injury, which I think hampered him. And two, he's not as athletic as he used to be. He's not. And it's cold as hell over there. So he probably didn't want to get hit. But at the end of the day, he can't scramble the way that he used to. He just can't. Now I agree with you that he played poorly. There's no denying that.
So what's the problem?
The problem is you said that he didn't care about winning. Like that to me that's dumb. Like that just to me what that is, that sports radio, lazy sports radio talk. When you proclaim that a guy who goes through everything that he goes through, that guys who go through all the physical labor that these guys go through, and you just say flippantly, "Oh, he don't care about winning." You know who doesn't care about winning? Antonio Brown don't care about winning.
He already won. He already won.
Yeah, but he don't care about winning. He don't care about winning. Just because you win doesn't mean that you care. Clearly, I agree with you on everything else. He struggled. He give San Francisco props. They're a great defense for a reason. Right? Give him props. Mm-hmm. But to say that he don't care about winning, to me that's just lazy in my opinion. That's lazy. But like I said, San Francisco won. Last second field goal. Shout out to them. And then Sunday, my God, Sunday was crazy.
Well, okay, one last thing. You say that's lazy, but I just gave you multiple reasons why I said that.
Yeah, your reasoning makes no sense.
So okay. What it could be only targeting two guys.
You targeted his best players. Should he have gone somewhere else? Probably, but that doesn't mean
no. I don't want to hear probably. I don't want to hear probably. When your guy's not open, you look somewhere else. That's what you do as a quarterback.
Okay, that's fine.
You know better than that, so don't even try it.
No, but that's fine. But you want to know why he targets them the most? Because those are his best players. Those are his best players, clearly. And the job for a team, regardless of whether they're 11-4 or they're the Jets, your goal is to get the ball to your best players.
Why are you mentioning the Jets for?
Because they stink.
Why are you mentioning the Jets for? What does New York have anything to do with this?
Because one, I want to remind people that that's your actual team. One, and two, they stink. So I just added them. That's it. It is what it is. But regardless of all that, look, San Francisco won. Now they're going to be playing like they're going to be playing L.A. And this game was nuts. Now I only watched the second half because I was playing.
I like how you wanted to say your last word about the Jets and then instantly trying to move on without having me to.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about irrelevant teams. And
but then don't bring them up.
That's fine. But I just wanted to use an example of a team that's great, and a bottom feeder, in a bottom feeder, and I just chose the Jets as an example. That's it. No, you don't have to get offended. You're a Packers fan, ain't you?
Look, listen.
Go Pack, go.
Listen. What I saw from Aaron Rodgers, for the last time, I felt like he did not care about winning. The way there was no type of sense of urgency, in my opinion. Yeah, he didn't. Huh?
I don't agree with that.
There was no sense of urgency. He was not being energetic or nothing. To me,
that's not who he is.
Listen, to me, if you truly cared about winning, you would have weighed out your other options. Either run with the ball, or at the very least, target the other wide receivers. He didn't even do that.
Do you think Ryan Tannehill cared about winning?
Ryan Tannehill?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because he took risks,
and it cost his team to win the game.
But he took risks though. Listen, the fact that you only targeted Randall Cobb once is unacceptable.
Randall Cobb, is Randall Cobb. Didn't he just come back to the team recently?
I think so.
Yeah, you're gonna put the season on the hands of Randall Cobb.
Listen, if your wide receivers are double team, aren't you supposed to look at the other options? Yes or no?
Yeah, but
okay. Thank you.
Okay, and that part I don't disagree with you on him not playing well. I agree with you there. But to jump to the conclusion that this man does not care about winning, that to me that's lazy. That's all I'm saying. That's lazy. I don't want to harp on it, but
Lazy.
it's lazy, huh?
I don't think it's being lazy. I'm just think I just
No, you know good reason why
I go to
because
that conclusion only because of what I saw on TV.
no, because you saw a guy who was struggling. That's what you saw.
No, I
You saw
saw
a guy. You saw a guy who was struggling, and you saw a guy who, like, you know how he is. He's not the fiery rah go type. He's
he's a
not that guy.
but he'll definitely complain and say, "Oh, I don't have enough help." Now that you have help, you didn't want to utilize it correctly.
No,
Now
his
that you had help.
his help was being double teamed, and I agree that he probably should have the play calling should have been better, or something like obviously they should have done more. They should have done more because
Okay.
they should
Thank
have been in San Francisco. In my
Thank
opinion.
you.
They should
Thank
have.
you. Thank
And
that's all you had to say.
no, but that's the thing. That's what I've been saying.
No.
All I'm saying. The only objection I have to what you're saying is that you are jumping to the conclusion that he doesn't care. And the reason why I say that's lazy is because you never talk to you don't talk to the man. You didn't talk to him. You don't know how he really feels. You're just assuming based on body language. And I don't. And last time I checked, you didn't go to school for any type of psychology or anything like that.
I know the basics.
No, no, you don't. I'm going to say you don't. But regardless of that, to say that he don't care, to me that's silly.
I don't know. When you had an opportunity to run with the ball, an open field for you, and you decide not to run, you don't care about winning.
Listen, he did the same thing last year. I don't think he can run the same way he could in the past. He can't. He should have. He probably should have, but I don't think he can. I think I remember a play where he tried to scramble, he got tripped up. Like Aaron Rodgers and Pat, who don't, that wouldn't happen to him if he was younger. That would not have happened to him. Like, but it just.
I think you're just giving him excuses, haven't you? At this point.
No. I said that he played poorly. That's what I said. Where I'm not going to say that he don't care about winning.
He played like trash.
Okay,
he played like trash. He did, and the same guy who's going to win MVP, by the way, played like trash yesterday.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why he played. No, but I will give Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know.
I mean, he threw the ball 11 times. Like they didn't win because of him. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
He threw the ball 11 times. They didn't win because of him.
They
won because, like I said, they're built for that type of environment. Run the ball, play great defense, and that's what they did. That's what they did. Now, I do agree Green Bay should have won. They should have won, but, it is what it is. It is what it is at the end of the day. Now, can we please move on to the other game?
Yeah. Stop pissing me off then.
Okay, so this now I saw this game in the second half, right? Second half. I was playing something in the first during the first half. But
are you kidding me, man? Are you for real?
Yeah. Okay.
This is the reason why I said that you only care about your team and nobody.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You're right. But I watched the game, especially when the game got closer, and I saw LA. Literally, you can see. You know how.
Good.
When you're somewhere, right? Let's say you're out to dinner, right? And you see someone is on the verge of choking, right? You're just waiting for him to start coughing, getting up, and trying to get the stuff out of their throat. That's what I saw LA was doing. They were choking hard.
I think you skipped the team.
No, I'll get to the last game in a second. I'll get to the last game in a second. We already covered 2 games.
Okay.
And then they were on the verge of choking. They were. The way that they let Tampa Bay come back, crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought when what's the kicker's name? Gay missed that field goal, but a 47-yarder.
Yeah. He was short. Yeah.
I said to myself, either this dude just freaked himself out, or I started to go along with everybody on Twitter was saying, "Oh, the whole thing is rigged. The whole thing is rigged." I said, but now look, I didn't post anything about, oh, it's rigged, or this is fake or whatever. I didn't do that. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it did cross my mind because I never in my life of watching professional football, a 47-yarder kicking a guy kicking a field goal that was short. You never seen a guy miss short. Not a 40, not a 47-yarder.
No, I'm sure. I'm 100% sure it's happened before.
I don't think so. Not 47. Now, if it was 55 and beyond, fine. But 47, I don't think so, man. You're kicking 47-yarder. You kicking from the.
I mean, it's not okay. Let's not pretend that a 47-yarder is easy. There ain't nothing to sneeze home about. But like, no, the part where I thought they were gonna lose was when with the Cam Akers fumble.
Oh, when Anchors fumbled the ball, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I thought, okay, LA's gonna lose. Yeah, they're gonna lose, and I think they were still up, but obviously with good field position, Tampa Bay I think scored, and it was just nuts, man. But you have to give LA credit. LA could have easily had just gone down and wilted under the pressure, but Matthew Stafford and honestly, this is the reason why he's there, to be the difference maker. You know what I mean? Like he came in, got the team down the field, and they got the field goal. They got the field goal at the end, and they survived. I mean, they were kicking their ass in the first half. I don't know, obviously, I don't know what the hell happened with them in the second half, but it is what it is, and now Tom Brady is probably, I mean, he's talking about retirement.
He said in the post conference.
I mean, there's been some talk about it. And he said he doesn't really know what his future holds and stuff like that. I think he comes back for one more year.
Yeah. That when he threw the ball to I think it was Evans.
Mm-hmm.
When he threw the ball to Evans, I think Evans was being guarded by Ramsey at that time.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, when he scored that touchdown, I said, "Oh, there's no freaking way! I cannot believe what I'm seeing." Like, I immediately had flashbacks of what they did to the Falcons.
Yeah,
immediately had flashbacks.
Same
I said,
thing.
"Oh, you too?"
Yeah, same thing.
Oh, dude, I said, "No, this cannot be happening."
They were literally pooping on themselves.
Yeah, I just kept saying to myself, dude, what's up with these mistakes? Bro, but let me tell you, it was definitely a roller coaster ride.
Mm-hmm.
Emotions just fluctuating. It was good. It was a very entertaining. I mean, don't get me wrong. The first half wasn't really that entertaining to me.
Mm-hmm.
But man, like when the second half picked up and Tom Brady just throwing pass after pass after pass, like that was. And when Fournette, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, made that running touchdown also.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody thought, I don't know if you remember that play, but
I think they thought they were going to do a quarterback sneak to get the first and goal.
Oh, and that dude, oh my god!
And I think that was the score that tied the game, right?
Yeah, and when he made that quick cut and ran to the right side, and nobody was touching it. And look, it was basically pick your poison at that point because you knew in the back of your mind that maybe, just maybe, Tom Brady was going to do a sneak. Like
even if they did, like it's like okay, he gets the first down. Okay, he's not going to run for a touchdown. So give him the extra, give him the yard, and then then move on.
Yeah.
But that props to Tampa Bay. Like they tricked them on that one. They outthought them in that one. But
yeah, but do you remember the play where Stafford, when Stafford threw the ball to Culp? I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Was that Cup? That was the one that set up the
dude,
that set up the field goal, right?
I was screaming when he threw that ball to Cup. Yeah, I was like literally screaming. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Crazy. How did he let that dude go wide open like that?
Wasn't it a double move?
I don't know, man, but like that was nuts. That was nuts, man.
And look, I honestly believe at this point the quarterback, because I don't know if you remember when I said this, when we had guys like not just Stafford, because obviously with Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, but these young guys. You talk about Burrow, you talk about Herbert, you're talking about freaking obviously Mahomes and Josh Allen. Like these we are being completely spoiled right now with these quarterbacks. And for honestly, at this point, I don't think there's anything the defense could do anymore. If you are able to score a touchdown and only leave seconds off the clock, and they still have an opportunity to score, and they do score, you just got to give props to the quarterback and to the receivers. I mean, there's nothing else that you could do. It's absolutely nothing else that you could do. Like, how the hell are you able to score with just 38 seconds left?
I mean, we saw a guy do it with 13 seconds. I mean,
We'll get to that. But remember, you mentioned Dallas earlier in this podcast. Remember, they almost did it too with only 28 seconds. Unfortunately, he had to run with the ball like an idiot.
Well, okay. Look, that's the difference between that team, a team like Dallas. Because I thought, like, when in the beginning of the year, I thought Dallas was on the same level as these other teams, right? Team that great defense, great offense, but you can tell, you can see the difference. You look at all four, you look at all these teams, right? Especially even the teams on Sunday, how awesome these teams are offensively. It's something that a lot of teams can't duplicate.
Yeah,
A lot of teams can't duplicate, man. So yeah, so like I said, LA they could have wilted under the pressure. They could have succumbed to the choke. But like I said, Stafford made a great play. Cooper Cup. I mean, to me, that dude should be an MVP candidate. Like I think I heard Al Michaels say it, and I agree.
I heard him say it too.
Yeah, he should be. He definitely should be an MVP candidate. He definitely should be.
Yeah, he should get a couple of votes. I definitely agree. And I think I do remember what happened now. Remember when he threw the ball to Cup?
Mhm.
I think they were trying to blitz. I can't remember 100%, but I think Tampa was trying to blitz in that play. And obviously,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
That's right.
So they picked it up, and I think one of the linebackers just stayed stagnant, like he was lost. I forgot who it was, but he was lost. He didn't know what to do, so the guy was left open, and they that was just a sensational play. Like to be so accurate, knowing that you're probably getting chills. Your hands are probably sweating, like you're probably in the verge of choking, but yet he remained poised and he delivered the cup and he got the ball. Like, fantastic play, just fantastic.
And the last game was just nuts. Like
I thought the Tampa and Rams game was nuts, but this one,
I mean, literally, since I was on my way to work, I couldn't watch the beginning of the game, but as
man,
the last, I want to say 3-4 minutes of this game, 4 or 5 minutes of this game were just absolutely crazy, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and and this is something I guess we can talk about this a little bit. The overtime rule.
Before, yes, I do want to talk about that, but before we get to there, I wanted to ask you this. Okay, before we get there, do you believe, people have been saying this now? Do you believe that Josh Allen is a better quarterback
Then who?
Mahomes?
No.
Is it close?
Yeah, definitely close. Like, you can argue Josh Allen is a top 5 quarterback in the league. You can argue that.
Okay.
Not only with his arm, but with his feet too.
The reason why I asked was because I think 2 weeks ago there was actually a poll on Twitter. Was asking who is the best quarterback in the league. Like, I think best talent, I believe. Everybody voted for Josh Allen, and Mahomes wasn't even on the list.
I mean,
oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he wasn't even on the list, which was to my surprise. But dude, like I believe that game was fantastic, and everybody played well. Everybody played well. I mean,
not the defenses.
I thought in the first half that they did fine.
Yeah, but like at the end, they didn't do it, and I guess we could talk about the overtime thing. And my opinion of it is that, look, I agree that the overtime rule is not as good. Like the always the comparison is the college one, and that one, the college one is far better. I agree with that. However, I do prefer this over the way the NFL was done. Like the last couple years, where if you got a field goal, if you score first, you win. Period. Whether it's a field goal or touchdown. To me, the job of a defense is to stop the offense. If they're going to score points, at the least you can do is hold them to a field goal. That's the least you can do, right? If you allow a team to score a touchdown, especially in the play where you're not when you're absolutely can't, then you deserve to lose. Now, mind you, this is the same team that was up, scored a game-winning essentially a game-winning touchdown with 13 seconds left, and all you had to do was stop Mahomes. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. You know what I mean? I know it's hard to stop him.
You're telling them to stop an elite quarterback. That's what you're saying.
Hey, it's not impossible.
An elite quarterback who has Kelsey and Hill, by the way, mind you.
Okay, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's hard, but it's not impossible. All you gotta do is keep them. You have 13 seconds left. 13 seconds, and you let them get down the field.
Here's what I said regarding to the whole 13 seconds thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have 13 seconds, which is fine. I get that. But just because you have 13 seconds or 38 seconds doesn't mean that you can guarantee an incomplete pass or you can guarantee a sack in 2 plays. That doesn't mean that's going to happen.
That's fine, but what you can't let happen is what Buffalo let Kansas City do to them. You have 13 seconds left.
Yeah, but there was 2 plays. They only did it with 2 plays.
That's fine, Steve. But
okay,
it's 13 seconds.
That doesn't matter. Those 2
no, it does matter. Because when you score a game-winning touchdown,
listen,
you have to stop the other team. Period.
Those 2 plays that happened could have easily happened in the first quarter or the fourth quarter. It didn't matter.
Right. It's okay to happen in the first. It's not okay to do it in the fourth. When you have the lead, when you're 13 seconds away from going to the AFC Championship game, you have to come through. You can't sit here and tell me that, Aaron Rodgers played like shit, this and that, blah, 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 and then defend a team that allowed another team to get within field goal range. And it's not like it was a long field goal. It's one thing if it was a 58, 59, 60-yarder. Okay, the defense did the best they could, right? But there was a fairly cheap shot. There was a fairly easy field goal for this guy. And they did that, and they got all the way down the field in only 13 seconds. I get it. Mahomes is excellent. I get it.
Then that should be it right there.
But with that said, the Buffalo had the number 1 defense in the league. They had the number 1 defense in the league. And you don't have to stop Mahomes, but you have to stop him from getting to field goal range in 13 seconds. And in overtime, you have to stop him from getting a touchdown. Period. It's not impossible. But you have to stop him from getting a touchdown. And as far as I'm concerned, if you give up a touchdown in overtime, I think that's more fair than giving up a field goal and losing the game. If you give up a touchdown and lose the game, then you deserve to lose, in my opinion.
No, you can't say that because I was actually watching what's that show called? Speak for Yourself. And one of the guys, he basically said that every single quarter and just about in every single game had parity with the exception of the overtime rules. And that is 100% true.
That's true.
You can't sit here and say, that one team scores a touchdown in regular regulation, first quarter to fourth quarter, and the second team gets an opportunity to also score a touchdown. But for you to say that no, you don't get the opportunity in overtime, is like I said on Twitter. That's an automatic contradiction within your own rule book. Don't sit here and tell me that both teams gets an opportunity during the first quarter, during the fourth quarter, but in OT that you cannot. No, that's not right.
You know what the rules are.
Yeah, guess what? Even though yes, you have the defense, on the field, but it's the offense who has the ball. It's the offense who's the one that has an opportunity to score.
Yeah, and as
So
you as a
give the
defense,
other team
as a defense,
the
you have
exact
to
same
you know what the situation is.
opportunity.
I know. Look, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you, but as a defense, you have one job to do: keep them out of the end zone. They were the number one defense in the league, and at the end of the day, that's what you're supposed to do. And they could not get it done. So I can't feel bad for Josh Allen, especially when like it happened to Mahomes. It happened to Mahomes when it came to Brady. It happened the same way it happened to Mahomes, and people were belly aching about that too. At the end of the day, you have a defense for a reason. You had the
Yes,
number
it
one
happened.
defense.
Yes, it
You had the
happened.
number one defense.
Yes, it
At
happened
the
to
end of the day,
Mahomes.
you have to stop them from getting a touchdown. You know what the objective is. You know what the objective is because you know how good your offense is. You know how good your offense is. If you either hold them to a field goal or hold them to a punt or whatever, then you have a good chance of winning. Is that simple, man? Is that simple? Again, I agree with you on the. I agree with you there. I agree with you on the overtime rules. I think that I think they should go to the college system, but that's not what they're doing. And as a team, with the coin toss, you know what the situation is. If you lose the coin toss, you know what your defense is supposed to do.
Which is stupid already. Already you want me to play a guessing game. That's already something that they need to get rid of, at least in overtime.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to disagree with you, but like at the end of the day, what the criteria is. Hold them to a field goal or a punt. That's it. Just don't allow them to go to the. Just don't allow them to go to the end zone. That's it. That's all. That you know that.
Okay, that's fine. But you already said it already. When in the past it had already happened to Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to the Falcons when in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, that's right. That game did go to the overtime. Yeah,
that went to overtime. I remember when Peyton Manning got destroyed, by the Seahawks. Next season, that was the first game that they played. The first game of the season was, Peyton Manning against the Seahawks again. They went to overtime, but guess what? Peyton Manning didn't have a chance to score.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate seeing this. I don't like it. Both teams should have an opportunity, regardless if the opposing team scores a touchdown or a field goal. That's how I believe how it should be. Because now it's an actual equal fair shake.
Right.
That's 100% parity. And let me ask you this, since you want to talk about you don't feel bad for them. So let me ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
if Josh Allen actually did get a chance to score a touchdown after let's say the rule has changed,
Mm-hmm.
would it be unfair that Josh Allen had an opportunity to score?
No.
No. So if that's the case, change the rule. Change the rule. If it's not unfair for Josh Allen to have a chance to score, despite the fact that Kansas City has scored a touchdown, then the rules should be changed. Because that is the 100% fair way that both teams, get an opportunity. Because remember, only one team has the ball, not the other. So, with that being said, change the rule in overtime. At the very least in the playoffs. You keep it the way it is in the regular season. But in the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl, the rule has to be changed. Give both teams an opportunity.
All right. Well, who's going to the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna say it's going to be the Rams and the Chiefs.
Yeah, I did pick the Rams to beat Tampa Bay too. I want to make sure people know that I did pick the Rams over the Bucks. And the thing is that I would pick the Rams too, but apparently San Francisco has beaten them twice this year. Let me check. I want to make sure.
Okay.
I want to make sure. I don't want to get that wrong. Because San Francisco has had success against LA.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, I'm gonna pick the Rams and I'm gonna pick Kansas City.
Wait. So you're picking the Rams anyway?
Mm-hmm. I'm picking the Rams in Kansas City. At least that's the one that I want to see the most. That's the one I want to see the most.
The Rams in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
So you wait, hold on. Okay. Did you find the stats regarding with
I'm looking for it right now. Hold on. I'm looking for it right now.
and also listen, in case anyone starts watching this podcast in the near future, listen, what that for those of you who watched the game, that fan that ran into the field, like don't embrace that. Like this should be absolutely no cheering. Well, I'm just saying this while you're looking for the stats, having now. Like there should be absolutely no cheering, from the fans, because when you do that, you're embracing stupidity. You're embracing stupidity, and and I don't know if you did you see when the fan went to the field? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it.
One of the I think one of the
I saw that part. Stephon Diggs tackled him.
okay, you saw that part.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had made a comment that that Stephon Diggs probably did that out of frustration because he only got 3 catches. So he probably did that, out of frustration. And gosh, I really want to show the clip, but I know you said that we might get copyrighted even with that one tiny clip. But there was one of the offensive linemen grabbed the guy's shoe, and I think he tossed it into the sideline. Like that's when I started laughing. I was just like, you know what, that serves you right, man. That serves you right. So
San Francisco has beaten them twice this year. 31-10.
31-10.
November 15th, and then the last game of the regular season, they beat them 27-24. And if it wasn't for that win, San Francisco would not have even been in the playoffs. So this is interesting. Even with that said, I'm gonna pick LA to win. I'm gonna pick LA to win.
Yeah, I think LA is the team that's going to the Super Bowl, and yeah, clearly the Chiefs is going to be. I think both games are going to be good.
Oh, yeah, that Chiefs Cincinnati game is gonna be fun because Cincinnati beat them in the regular season also.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah, and I think with the talent that they have, because you have to remember Cole Beasley, he had a very great game too. That dude had I think he had like 6 catches. He had a great game. Obviously, when it comes to oh my gosh, dude, Tyree Hill and freaking Kelsey, like those two are like freaking juggernauts, man. Like, do you remember the play when Hill caught the ball and he started to wave at the defenders? I don't know if you remember.
Yeah. The play where he caught the ball and then went to star mode.
And not only that, you outrun four people. He caught the ball, went towards them, and outrun everybody. That is just superstar talent right there. Superstar talent. And Kelsey, for obviously, he's being, consistent, with his plays. The game was just so phenomenal to watch. I wish I had recorded it because this is going to be one of the most memorable games of all time, in my opinion.
I agree. So all right, so we're done with that. So looking forward to next week. All right. So this topic, obviously, I did a video on this on my own last week, and then me and you, we did an emergency podcast, which is on the overrated podcast. What do you call it? Playlist, and it's also that video is on your channel. So for those of you subscribe to Tradionalist to see his content, hopefully he puts more content in the future.
This guy.
And yeah, but you can find that on there. But obviously, last week.
Wait, hold on. That is on your the podcast is on your playlist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's not in your regular feed. It's on your playlist.
Yeah, it's on the playlist. Yeah, but obviously, if you subscribe to the channel, you can subscribe to the channel, right? So, all right. So Microsoft made a major acquisition buying Activision/Blizzard for 70 million, right? Of all the games that they make, the one game that is the most relevant when it comes to PlayStation is Call of Duty. 'Cause Call of Duty is one. Sony has a marketing deal with the publisher, with Activision, to bring DLC and stuff like that on PlayStation, make marketing the game on PlayStation a priority. Now, obviously, with this deal, it brings up tons of questions, and obviously, Sony weighed in on the situation. Let me see if I can find it. Um, all right, so here we go again. Will Activision Blizzard games be exclusive to Xbox after the recently announced $68.7 billion deal? Finally goes through. When it finally goes through. But in the meantime, both sides are saying just enough to keep all possibilities open, with Sony being the latest to add its vague comments to a growing pile. We expect that Microsoft will abide by contractual agreements and continue to ensure Activision games are multiplat, a Sony spokesman told the Wall Street Journal today, or this is a couple days ago. Read one way, it seems like confirmation that the owner of PlayStation thinks nothing will change. Read another, it means that existing Activision games will remain multiplat, but doesn't provide any clarity on what might happen to future projects that haven't even been announced yet, right? So, and then this happened, I think, a couple days ago, where Phil Spencer made this tweet, and I'm gonna read it right here. And you can see the tweet right here, right?
Yeah.
All right. Had good calls this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship. Unquote.
Okay.
Now, what's your thoughts on this?
I think he's full of crap.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's full of crap. He said that, okay, like what you just read. You said that let's see, confirmed to our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition to Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Which Call of Duty is he talking about?
Pretty much whatever one that's going to be coming out in the near future.
In the near future. What about what about afterwards?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's full of crap.
That's the $70 billion question.
And I honestly believed when he said, Call of Duty, I think he just means the what's the Call of Duty one? The
Warzone.
I think he just means Warzone.
Hey, that could be that too. Cause look, when it comes to these comments, these corporate heads are very good when it comes to language. Very good when it comes to very good when it comes to language. Like
so like semantics.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Value our and Multi put it right there. Value all relationship, but that's not the part that I wanted to concentrate on. Like
what relationship? What relationship? Like you're essentially buying a company with huge money makers, and you're talking about you value our relationship. Like, get the hell out of here, man! I don't want to hear that garbage. You know exactly what you're doing. You're trying to beat the competition because Sony has destroyed you guys, with the exception of that one generation with the PS3 and 360. But other than that, Sony has literally destroyed you guys, demolished you guys. And honestly, I believe that they're sick and tired of all the losses, and they want to, stick it to Sony as best way as they could, which is to buy Activision and Blizzard. That's what they're trying to do.
Let me address that, right? Because I don't disagree with you. But what Microsoft is doing right now, and I think I said this last week. I don't know if I said this in I don't remember where I said it, but Microsoft is playing. They're literally trying to change the game, right? They know they can't compete with Sony when it comes to first party exclusives. They can't. They tried, they failed. Even with the 360, they failed. And let me tell you why they failed, right?
I don't know about that.
No. Let me tell you why they failed, right? The two their two biggest IPs, right? Halo and Gears, are made by studios that are no longer under Microsoft's umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And did you know that Gears was set to come out on PlayStation until Microsoft stopped it and bought the IP?
Yeah, I think I do remember that. Yeah, because
And
Gears was such a huge success, especially when the first one came out.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Nah, I gotta call him later.
Which was a very smart thing, for Microsoft, because you have to remember a lot of people were saying how when the first Gears of War came out, how it basically revolutionized gaming, especially with the whole cover system thing, that they did. So they could not lose that game. They couldn't lose that game.
And I don't have a problem with them doing that either. I don't have a problem with them doing that either. But the thing that Microsoft has done this generation, and this even started last generation also. What they're trying to do, they're putting themselves in a position to be looked upon as the good guys of the industry, right? But everything that they've done to try to make themselves look like the good guys in the industry has come at the expense of Sony, right? When the whole crossplay thing came out, right? People were like, "Oh, thank goodness for Microsoft. They want to push crossplay." The reason why they wanted to push crossplay was so that people would not buy PlayStations. But when people say, "Oh, well, I want to play," we can, wouldn't it be cool if we had different consoles that played the same games and played
Mhm.
together? Well, the thing is that who does that affect more? That affects Sony because they're the one that they were the market leader, and the vast majority of games sold more on the PlayStation. So if you have all these features for Xbox, right? All these pro consumer things, why would you buy? Why would you buy a PlayStation? You don't need to buy a PlayStation anymore. I can keep my Xbox and I can play you in a game, and therefore you don't have to buy a PlayStation. Like everything that they've done has been has been used as a way to weaken Sony with the intention of improving not only how they look in the industry but improving the gaming industry as a whole.
Yeah, they're trying
Game
to make.
Pass,
So they're
Game
trying
Pass,
to.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
No, my bad.
Like,
I don't want
like
you to say that.
Game Pass is a perfect example of this. Like, why would you spend $70 to play a game when you could just when you all you gotta do is buy a subscription and you can play all their new games, all of Microsoft's new games.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have Call of Duty, or if we have whatever Tony Hawk, Guitar Hero, whatever, you're always gonna play it on the Xbox because that's the best deal for you. Everything they've done has been used as a disguise for goodwill, as far as like good PR. But all it's done is try to weaken PlayStation.
Well, I'm gonna go a little step further because here's something that I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I think here's something that you had also forgotten. That in a way they're trying to say it's pro, consumer,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I feel like it's also a way to control the consumer. And what I mean by that is it's a way to control consumers so that we don't have, the option to trade in our games, to borrow our games, because all we have is Game Pass. That's number one.
Mhm.
And two, we saw examples of what they did when they were trying to force Connect down our throats,
Mhm.
and you saw how that didn't work.
Yeah.
And
But you, but
well,
you, you
granted, it worked, for the 360. Now I know a lot of people, bought, Connect, for the 360, so it lasted for for a little, a small portion of time.
Mhm.
I'll admit that. Like, it was completely different from the Wii. It was completely different from, the PlayStation Move. I think they did a very good strategy of, trying to improve or enhance gaming to some degree without using any type of, controller and whatnot. But to try to force that down our throats, next gen, you saw that how it bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
Once again, control. And lastly, when they try to do the whole DRM thing, I think isn't that a thing now?
I think definitely games do it. Definitely games do it. But to add to your point, when it came to what they did in the beginning of the generation, they're doing the same. They're actually still doing the same thing. But here's the thing. Here's what they're using: Game Pass. Because look, why would you trade games? There's no way you could trade games if you subscribe to Game Pass,
Right.
right? And everything that they wanted to do, they're doing it now, but they're putting it in it with a face of being pro-consumer to their customers. That's how they're doing it, and I don't have a problem with it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or anything like that. It just the way they've done it has been in at the expense of Sony, but it's being done disguised as being pro-consumer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a smart strategy. Now, here's what I think about this statement. Right? Obviously, it's vague for on purpose. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I 100% agree. The
It's
freaking
vague
thing
on
is freaking too broad.
yeah.
I agree.
And to me, if I'm Microsoft, I would put the games on PlayStation with the caveat that Game Pass is on PlayStation. They put their version of Game Pass on PlayStation. Is the only way that I see them agreeing to this. They're still confident because Phil Spencer said in an interview that he doesn't want annual Call of Duty games. So he doesn't want annual Call of Duty games. So that means that if he's right about that, if he's true about this, then they're only going to be available every probably 2-3 years.
3 years, yeah.
And those games are more than likely going to be exclusive to Xbox, because if the game come out every year, they just put them on Game Pass, whatever, and they're going to be spending a lot of money to make those games only on Game Pass and not sell them anywhere else. You know what I mean? I personally think that if what Phil Smith is saying is true, I think they can say that it's their intention to put the games on PlayStation all they want. They're going to want something for it, whether it's monetary or if it's like, oh well, we want Game Pass on PlayStation. And if I'm Microsoft, I do the same thing. I would definitely do the same thing.
Oh, you would?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I ain't spend $70 billion on this property just to give it away for free for nothing. I want something for it.
So wouldn't PlayStation get at least a percentage, since it's going to be used on their brand, on their product? And if the answer is yes, then it's still a stupid investment to begin with.
What the investment? Wait. The investment for Microsoft to buy Activision?
Yeah, if you wanted to spend nearly $70 billion on Activision and Blizzard and have all these games, but then you want to also include Game Pass to PlayStation so they could have access to the exact same games. I mean, and if they get a small percentage of it, what was the investment for? You giving?
I think the main investment to me is for them to improve the PC version of Game Pass, because like I said, I heard from people that it's not great, and having not only COD, they're not major on PC, but to have COD, to have StarCraft, Warcraft, I mean World of whatever the fuck it's called, WoW, all these
World of Warcraft,
yeah, and Diablo, all these games under the PC umbrella, like the monetary potential of this move from Microsoft is immeasurable. They'll make up that 70 billion. They will. If the games all hit and the games do well, they'll reach that 70 billion. They'll make that money back.
Well, but again, if they release these games over to to PlayStation, once again, I don't necessarily see what was the purpose of the investment if these games are going to be multi-plats anyway.
Well, we'll see, because like I said, they like I said, this is a bigger thing than just this is bigger than that. Like I think they obviously their thing is to grow Game Pass. That's what their main goal is. And as long as Game Pass is successful, then that's what they care about. And another thing when it comes to Game Pass, when it came to weakening Sony, they know for a fact, Microsoft knows for a fact that Sony it doesn't want to put their games on a subscription service for cheap. Those games are expensive to make. The Horizons, the God of Wars, the Uncharted, those games are expensive to make.
Yeah, Gran Turismo. Yeah,
hmm Those games are expensive to make, and when you put those games on Game Pass, you're gonna see what they did with Halo. Halo, the game is great, but the game is also bare bone when it comes to some features. It's bare
oh,
bone.
really?
hmm
No, I
And
didn't know that.
and I guarantee you that the reason why it's bare bone is because of Game Pass. Because why would you complain about getting the next generation Halo if you're getting it for essentially $10 or a dollar or 15, whatever? You're not paying full price for it.
Right.
And Microsoft knows that, and they know that Sony don't want to put their new games behind essentially behind a subscription service. They don't want to do that. They know that. They know that. So that's the main reason why they started putting their games on Game Pass. Because one, they wanted to succeed, obviously, but they also know that their main competitor, their best games, are big budget AAA games.
Sony's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they know that, and they know that Sony does not want to put those games in a subscription for a cheap price. They don't want that.
Well, to me, this goes back to to me saying it's also about control. To me, I fear, like, I remember how when I tried to give you certain predictions, and they actually come true and whatnot. I'm going to predict that Game Pass, there's going to be an increase in price on Game Pass.
Oh, 100
That,
percent, one
that,
hundred percent, they will. That will happen.
yeah, I honestly believe that's what's going to happen. So all the fans who are going all ugu gaga about this, I honestly believe at the end of the day it's going to hurt us in the end. Like, look, I don't know if you knew this, but Netflix increased their price.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, and I guarantee you're going to see that with Disney Plus. You're going to see that with Hulu, or whoever else that you have, HBO. Like, everybody's going to increase their prices, and I honestly believe that now with this deal, and more games are going to be released, because like you said, you have World of Warcraft, and you have Tony Hawk, and man, unfortunately, Crash Bandicoot, and Spyro, and I know you don't care about those games,
Mm.
but Overwatch. You mentioned Diablo,
Oh,
Doom.
can I mention something real quick?
Yeah.
So apparently today, Aaron Greenberg is one of the heads at Xbox. His new avatar is him and Crash Bandicoot doing the X sign.
Whoa.
Yeah, and
Yo.
that made a lot of PlayStation fanboys upset. Made a lot of people upset.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah,
Dude, please, you got to have a photo of that. I really want to see this picture. Please tell me you have one.
let me see. I mean, we're kind of done with this article, so let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. And yeah. Let me finish what I was saying. So you have all of these games in your arsenal. You have all these games in your back pocket. So why not increase the price? Of course they're going to increase the price.
Well, yeah, because they spent all that goddamn money. They have to increase the price. They have to.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, how this is the reason why I was very disappointed that people like like Angry Joe and Review Tech, all these guys are all excited about this. This is going to hurt the whole entire consumer as a whole.
That's the photo. You see it?
No,
Oh, you don't see it?
no, I don't see
No,
it.
it's coming up. It's coming up.
Yeah, this is
Oh, you know what? Yeah, my bad. My bad. This is Let me look at image. Is it there? Is it there? No, it's not there. Let me stop sharing this.
Mhm.
Let me go to the
Yeah.
other one.
So this is basically going to hurt the whole entire industry as a whole, especially for the consumers. They will see soon, real soon, that once they start seeing a huge increase in price of Game Pass. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on to this picture for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on to this picture for a second. This basically validates my point. Angry Joe's point, and how everybody else was saying how. Now look, Call of Duty is obviously the biggest one. Call of Duty is obviously the biggest one, and I know
For PlayStation,
yeah, I know you don't care about Crash, and I understand that PlayStation got rid of them, to Activision. I get it, but at the end of the day, though, so many people still view Crash as a PlayStation mascot. Actually, Crash was actually one of the reasons why I was such a huge fan of the original PlayStation. Metal Gear basically just gave what was basically the icing on the cake, for me. But when I saw the ad, for Crash, I fell in love with that character. Like I fell in love with Crash Bandicoot. And obviously, with Spyro, I fell in love, with Spyro. I have all three Crash games. I have all three Spyro games, for the original PlayStation. Right? And people associate that with PlayStation, till this day. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody assumed that was the mascot. And you cannot tell me with this picture that Microsoft didn't know the exact same thing.
Look. He knows what he's doing. Like if I'm gonna be honest about Aaron Greenberg is just he's just an Xbox fanboy who works at Microsoft. That's who he is. He's an Xbox fanboy that happened to work at Microsoft, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the one especially back in the day when Xbox 360 was kicking PlayStation 3's ass. He will always update sales numbers and all the other stuff, gloating and all the other stuff. He
Oh,
don't do that. He don't do that so much anymore.
When the 360 was winning,
He don't do that so much anymore. But even with all that, this is who he is. This is his persona, right? At the end of the day, we all know what they're doing. We all know what he's doing. With that said, Sony is the one that sold the IP. They're the ones that wanted to move on from Crash. They could have kept the IP if they wanted to. They didn't have to sell Activision, but they did. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Getting upset about it, getting mad at him about it, ain't gonna do no one any favors.
Well, you had to remember, like this has nothing to do, with the Xbox fans. This is the PlayStation fans who are upset about this.
Yeah,
who's alright about this? Because look at the picture. Like look not just the Crash and what's his name again?
Aaron Greenberg.
Yeah, not just Greenberg. I mean, everything is basically green. I mean, look at the circle. It's green. Yeah. They have both guys. Well, Crash and Greenberg is doing the X sign. They're basically sticking it to Sony. They're basically telling Sony, ha ha, look what we did. We have your character, and we're going to stick it to you. That's what they're basically doing.
He said that a fan made this. And he was like, "Oh, he thought it was a cool picture." It probably did happen because Xbox fanboys are very weird when it comes to the executives. They pretend that these executives actually give a shit about them. But when you use their picture, that's you're clearly validating that. But regardless, that's another thought for another day. With that said, even with all that, obviously he knows what he's doing.
Yes,
he's just trolling. And that's what he tends to do from time to time. At the end of the day, there's nothing you can do to change it. Like it is what it is. Just stop crying and move on with your life.
That's not good, dude. Trust me, that's not what's going to happen.
No, of course it's not going to happen because fanboys act stupid.
No. Because here, remember what you said a while back when you basically said that even though you hate Mario now, didn't you say that Mario is what got you into Nintendo in the first place, and that it
Of
always
course.
had like a special place in your heart because of
Of
it?
course. Then that's
Okay.
not going to change.
Okay,
That will
okay.
never change.
The same thing could be said, with Crash to millions of people.
That's fine. That's not this picture. Don't change that.
Okay. I get what you're saying, but the fact that Crash is now gone. And look, you
It's
said
been gone.
okay,
It's
you
been gone.
okay, that's fine, but you said that Sony wanted to go to a new direction. Now, look, I don't want to go too much off topic, and I know it's time for us to move on. I understand, what you're saying when Sony wanted to go to a new direction, but even with that, they're not making Jack and Dexter anymore. Jack and Dexter was also new as well. They're not making Jack and Dexter anymore. They haven't made a new Infamous game, for a while. So all the games that they wanted to make at the expense of Crash, they're not even making anymore.
Okay, but you noticed that they didn't sell Jack and Dexter to a publisher. They didn't do that this time around because I think I think they realized that it was a mistake to sell Crash.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do think it was a mistake. It was a mistake to sell Crash. Even if you don't want to use him in a game, you could at least use him as a mascot.
Exactly.
You can use him as a mascot. It's because Sony really doesn't really have a mascot.
No, they don't.
They really don't. Like and to me, I think having that identity is important. I do think having that identity is important. It's not the end of the world. Like I don't think it's the end of the world. But having the character that was synonymous with your brand, and you sold him off, and then you notice with the All-Star game, you would have been nice to have him in the All-Star game, right?
Oh my God, dude! I don't know if you remember. That's what people was asking for.
Exactly. And like I said, you don't have him for that game, which is fine, not a big deal. But like,
it's a big deal.
No.
That's not a big deal.
No.
That's like saying.
Listen to me.
That's like saying having no Mario or no Link in a Smash game.
Understood. But Nintendo owns those IPs. Sony sold Crash. Sony sold them, so they don't own them anymore. And I guarantee you, they wanted to put them in the game, but they couldn't because they didn't own the IP anymore.
They didn't own a whole bunch of other characters either.
That's true. But Activision was not going to just give them that just out of nowhere. They weren't going to do that.
Listen, they did not own Big Daddy. They did not own Raiden, from Metal Gear. There's plenty of characters that they had.
Okay, which character would you prefer, Raiden or Solid Snake?
Raiden or Solid Snake?
Yeah, which one would you prefer? Which one has more of a connection to PlayStation lore?
Oh, absolutely, Solid Snake. Absolutely.
All right, which game did he end up being in?
Wait. Solid Snake?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he ended up being in the Smash game.
Yeah, that's okay. If I guarantee you, if Nintendo went to Activision and said, "Yo, we want to put Crash in the game," they would have done it. Why? Because Smash Brothers has credibility, for lack of a better term. This All-Star game was a brand new game. No one knew how well it was gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I guarantee you that's why a lot of third-party stuff wasn't there.
Well, I think they should. I think they should have just focused on bringing their first party characters, and then if you want to add third party,
you want to expand, yeah, what Nintendo did.
Yeah, if you want to expand, those characters later, go ahead and do that. But
yeah, you needed to build cachet, and the game didn't have that. The game didn't have cachet.
Yeah, those characters nobody really cared about. Like nobody did. And here's the other thing that I also wanted to address. At least with the Nintendo characters, whether if it's Donkey Kong, whether if it's Mario, Link, Samus, there was a, how can you say, a connection, with those characters and the fans. There was a connection, like people fall in love with these characters. Who the hell is going to fall in love with Big Daddy? Look. And as much as do I think he's a cool character in the original BioShock game, I didn't have a connection with him. I I had a connection with obviously with Solid Snake, and I love Raiden. I absolutely love Raiden, and I thought it was a really huge deal because you have to remember when Raiden was a available character on I can't remember if Metal Gear Rising came out before or after the All Stars game.
I'm sure it came out before.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
It came out before.
Okay, yeah. So that was probably one of the reasons why, because they were trying to basically bring in characters that on the games that were that was out recently, that came out recently, and then they wanted to bring those characters in, I guess for for hype, to get everybody amped up for the game. But here was my overall point before you say your next thing. Here's my overall point regarding the crash. The thing is, when people was asking for Crash in the All Stars game, that right there should have had at the very least told Sony that it was a mistake to get rid of him. They should have realized how much of an impact Crash was for the fan base. It was a huge community that wanted him there. They wanted him there, and in my opinion, Sony should have tried to do whatever it is that they could to bring to take Cash back, to bring Crash back, to bring him back. Because mind you, when Crash finally came out and it was a remake, everybody was excited for it.
Yeah, to an extent, but even with that announcement, that game was also going to come out on Switch and Xbox. So what did it matter? What did it matter? It was just them playing at the nostalgia heartstrings. That's all they did.
Yeah, but don't you think it would have if Crash if the remake of Crash and then they made another Crash game afterwards? If that was a exclusive game, for the PlayStation, I think it would have been a bigger deal, in my opinion.
But it wasn't. You know what I mean? And my look. We kind of got off track. But here's the thing: they sold the franchise. It's not their franchise anymore. So they get mad at Aaron Greenberg for this. They get offended by it. Like, come on, you know his MO. Like, just ignore it and move on with your life.
You're. I mean, I don't know if that's easy to do.
I mean, it's easy for me to do. I didn't give a shit. Like, I didn't care.
You don't care about Crash. You don't care about Crash. You don't care about Mario. You don't care about Sonic anymore.
No, look, I realized what he was doing, and I was like, all right, whatever, and it moved on. That's all I did. And regarding the whole, and then we can move on after this. Regarding All Stars, to be honest with you, the thing that should have been the focal point of that game was the gameplay. And the gameplay was fine. It had some issues, but the gameplay was fine. If they had concentrated more on just the core gameplay, then I think they could have had a better chance of surviving. But Sony took a shot. It didn't do well according to their numbers, and they decided to kill it off. They created an entire studio to make that game, and it just didn't work. And I don't think having Crash in it would have helped.
I think it would have helped.
Not to that extent. Not to the point where it'll be successful. I don't think so.
When you have people demanding, for a particular character, obviously it would have, assist somewhat.
Not to the point where it'll be successful.
Because look at all the characters that Nintendo announced, for Smash. How
but Smash has credibility.
Okay, but with characters, like for example, like Sephiroth, huge impact. People love that dude.
Okay, but the game has credibility.
Let me finish. When you look at Sephiroth, you look at characters like Cloud, characters like Sonic, and like Ken and Ryu. Look at Ken and Ryu, and mind you, when they brought in Sora, I don't know if you remember, people got emotional when he was announced.
That's right. Okay, you
mean to tell me that bringing in those characters then increased the hype for that 5-6-year-old game? Of course it did.
That's not the point. The point is that they have the reason why they were able to do it is because of the goodwill that they built over the years with that franchise. They know that franchise is going to sell numbers, That's why the third parties were more okay with them putting their characters in the game. Because realistically, what game should Stephen Roth been in? Realistically,
Wait, well, I don't understand the question.
what game should Stephen Roth have been in?
Oh, in the All Stars game,
Okay, Cloud.
definitely All Stars.
Okay, Ken and Ryu. There's far more PlayStation Street Fighter game than they are Nintendo than there are games on Nintendo.
Yeah, but they have Ken Ryu Street Fighter games on
Street Fighter 5 is exclusive to the PlayStation 5 right now. What game should they have been more featured in? They should have been in All Stars. Sora should have been in All Stars, but it didn't happen. The main reason why because Nintendo had cachet with Smash Brothers, the same thing that I think a Super Bot game didn't have with All Stars. And I'll admit it. Like one of my most watched videos was the character wish list for All Stars. I had Crash, Spyro, Lara Croft. Listen. Let me finish.
All right. I'm gonna let you finish.
I had all these characters that should have been in the game, that I wanted in the game.
That you wanted in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought you said these were what fans had requested. Okay.
But the problem is when I realized that this game doesn't have the cachet to just put any fucking character in it. They have to build goodwill, and unfortunately, when you're competing against Smash, you have to knock it out of the park, or else it's not going to work. It just simply doesn't work. The reason why I was pissed off about the Nickelodeon brawler game is because they don't have to really deal with Nintendo in a sense. They don't have to deal with Nintendo. Like you have the autonomy to put any character you want in that game, and you chose a garbage roster.
Oh, with the whole Nickelodeon thing.
Yeah, like they chose a garbage roster. When it came to Sony, we know that a lot of their iconic characters are third party. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
So what they probably should have done, they should have streamlined it. If you're gonna bring in like some third party stuff like Big Daddy and whatever, that's fine. But when it came down to it, they had to streamline their characters to the character to their characters, and have the main focus of the game be the gameplay. And like I said, we both like the game, but the game obviously not good enough. It wasn't good enough for them to warrant any more investment into that idea. It is what it is. It is what it is at this point.
Yeah, but also remember, a lot of Sony had received a lot of criticism and a lot of hate just for the idea of making that game.
Yeah.
So a lot of people was dismissing it by default anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So with all that being said, I believe that if they were able to add in, like you said, Lara Croft and Spyro and Crash and everybody else, I think that would have helped because these are huge iconic characters that people care
about. But would
about.
the price of getting those characters be enough to warrant the sales of the game?
With those characters, I think so.
I don't see it.
You
but we'll never know. We'll never know.
Okay.
We'll never know. But anyway, I have to leave real quick. I'm gonna make a phone call, right? I have to make a quick phone call.
Oh, okay.
All right then. And then you can actually set up your topic, right?
All right. Yeah. All right. All right. So Havino is gone for right now. He has to make a phone call. It's really frustrating to have interruptions, during the podcast, but I guess it's beyond our control. Hopefully, that stuff, will get fixed. But here's what I was trying to say. Malta, I don't know if you agree with this, but I honestly believe that if you are able to bring in huge iconic characters, like beloved characters, such as Crash and whatnot, Lara Croft, who also had a huge fan base, that would definitely help in sales, in my opinion, because people love those characters. You know what I mean? Like, why do you think a lot of these characters, such as like for example, like Akuma, who's like one of the coolest characters of all time regarding the fighting games, when he went to when he went to Tekken, a lot of people went crazy for it. When Geese went to Tekken, everybody went crazy for it, and I'm starting to see more of this, guest characters in all these games and all these fighting games and skins. Because I know in Street Fighter Five, I believe there's a skin for Juggernaut. So like a lot of these companies are doing it. They're constantly bringing in characters who are iconic, characters that people care about, so that way it can increase sales. It's just here's what we have to offer you. Buy it, we take your money, and then we please you. I mean, that's pretty much how it is. And in my opinion, I honestly believe that if Sony were able to capture, some of these iconic characters, that I think the game would have sold even more. In my opinion, I think the game would have sold a whole lot more. But regarding to back into the original article, I honestly think that what that guy said, what Spill Spencer said about having this relationship, I think is BS. And I think it's funny how you put the quote value our relationship. Yeah, I think it's all BS. What they want to do is humiliate, annihilate the PlayStation brand so that they could be the top dog. That's what I believe. And to me, I think they're going to do it because either Sony has to comply and pretty much have their version of Game Pass, or just let Microsoft do their thing, and then they just take over. They're just gonna have to take over because eventually, not everybody is basically going to say, I'm going to take this subscription instead of just buying $60-$70 games. That's what's going to happen, and unfortunately, I think it's going to hurt the industry as a whole. I love buying my games. I like to have full control of my games. I still like to have, whether it's my niece or my nephews, if they want to borrow the game, if my friends want to borrow the game, you want to trade in the game, it means more to me having it in my actual possession than actually losing it just because I didn't pay for some stupid subscription, in my opinion. I mean, I know people see it differently, but I believe having full control of the game means more to me than some stupid subscription. That's why when it comes to movies, I still buy my movies. I don't just sit here and just watch Netflix and Disney Plus.
Okay, I'm back.
The movie that I want to watch, I actually buy the movie.
All right.
So but yeah, basically what I pretty much said when you were gone was that I honestly believe if you have iconic figures, your Crash, your Lara Croft, your Ryu's, your Snake, and all that, I do believe, in my opinion, that if you have them, it would increase sales. And I think that's one of the reasons why, when you look at all these different skins that these games are having, that you clearly know is from another company. Like how on Street Fighter 5 there's a skin for Juggernaut. I don't know if you have that one.
No, I don't.
But there's a skin, for Juggernaut. Like, I mean, Juggernaut is freaking Marvel, but Sony knows that they have fans of Juggernaut,
and they have a business partnership with Marvel also.
Oh, Capcom does, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like to me, all it is just about making money. And if you could introduce these characters into your fan base, like how Akuma is in Tekken, or how Geese is in Tekken, I'm pretty sure all of that increased sales, in my opinion. And I honestly believe the same thing would have happened with All Stars if they had all the characters that people actually requested for, that people actually care about. So,
All right.
Yeah, what dude? Why did you? Never mind.
What happened?
No, I was gonna ask you, like, did you really have to make the phone call during our podcast?
Yeah, no, my dad called.
No, okay, yeah, that's fine. So are we done with the topic? I know we kind of went.
Yeah,
Off.
I've been done. I'm surprised you kept. I'm surprised you kept talking about it.
Well, yeah, because you left. I
I told you. I told you to start with your topic.
Oh, okay. But I pretty much said that. I pretty much said also that with Phil Spencer, I think this is going to, hurt gaming as a whole, because I remember even you when you would have a particular game, you would let your nieces borrow the game, or you let me borrow the game and whatnot. Once again, you can't do that anymore with Game Pass. You can't do that anymore. So they're taking all this, they're taking all the great experiences that we have with these games away because of Game Pass. So, but anyway, that's enough about that topic. So, what's next?
You?
Yeah, but I wanted to go in your order, and
Yeah, Shaq on Kyrie.
all right, and I got a bone to pick with you with what. Oh my God, I got a bone to pick with you.
Based on what?
I don't hate LeBron James.
No, I mean, bro, like we can continue. We'll get to it. We'll get to it when we get there.
All right, Shaq and Kyrie. Now I'm not gonna go too crazy because I know you don't want to. I know you really don't want to talk about this. This topic does not interest you. So Shaquille O'Neal reveals his method to handle unvaccinated Kyrie Irving. If he was on my team, I'd have to put hands on him. And that's pretty much what Shaquille O'Neal said.
All right, put that up there.
All right, so Shaquille O'Neal reveals his method to handle unvaccinated Kyrie Irving. If he was on my team, I'd had to put my hands on him. That's pretty much what he said. And to me, I think he went way too far regarding with this whole vaccine stuff. Here's what, before I read the article, here's what Shaquille O'Neal had said during I forgot what game it was, but he was on TNT. And he pretty much said that you have to sacrifice for your teammates. That you have to sacrifice, that if when it comes to opportunity to win the championship, you have a very small window, which is the truth. These are all facts. In my opinion, however, when it comes to taking the vaccine, to me, that goes beyond everything else that you have to say regarding to sacrificing and things like that, because this is his body, his one and only body that he has. And if he doesn't trust the vaccine, that has absolutely nothing to do with trying to commit sacrifices, and you don't care about playing basketball, like how you always say, having now that he doesn't care about playing basketball, he doesn't want to play basketball because he doesn't want to take the vaccine. To me, as I always said, if he didn't have to take the vaccine, he would be playing basketball. But he's already playing basketball now. But let me just do one quick reading here. It says, with Kevin Durant sidelined due to an injury, the Brooklyn Nets are in trouble. James Harden will carry the load now, helped by Patty Mills, LaMarcus Aldridge. They are still good players for the Nets, but having a part-time superstar like Kyrie Irving doesn't feel quite right for the team. Now that KD is out for several weeks, everybody wants to see Kyrie play at home. He currently taking part in road games, but that's not enough if the Nets wants to finish atop the Eastern Conference standings. Many people have urged the organization to make Kyrie a full-time player in any way. After Kendrick Perkins called Kevin Durant and James Harden soft for not calling out Kyrie Irving for not getting the COVID-19 vaccine, Shaquille O'Neal offered another solution to this issue, detailing what he would do if Kyrie was his teammate. Taking on the latest episode of his big podcast, O'Neal explained he would get physical with Kyrie if he were on the same team. I don't see how the team could put with that. I'm just saying, if he was on my team, I'd have to put my hands on him. I know for a fact that these windows of winning championships You don't have them a lot. He continued, quote, all that stuff just playing on the road, you can't get into no rhythm like that. Okay. Do I think that O'Neal is wrong with this quote? No. I don't think that he is. But to me, having a part-time Kyrie Irving is still better than having no Kyrie Irving, in my opinion. Now I know you're going to disagree with that off rip. I know you will. But to me, if you don't have him at all whatsoever, then like there is absolutely no chance for you to win if he can't play at all. Like at the very least, like I said before, this is far beyond Kyrie Irving's control because it's the state that's in interference, not him not wanting to play. I said this already.
We've had this discussion already.
Like I said this already.
We've had this discussion already. What I'm gonna say is not gonna change.
What I think what Shaq is saying. I mean, what I think what Shaq is saying is absolutely spot on. That it's probably going to be more difficult for you to, to get into rhythm because the guy is only going to be playing on the road. But to me, if he's going to be playing on the road, right, and he's not going to be able to play, any home games, whatsoever, the chances of you guys actually succeeding with Kyrie Irving not playing at all, I mean, like don't even bother competing anymore. Like, well, why even bother competing? Like, you don't have Kevin Durant anyway, at least for right now. So why are you complaining? He was not playing for like the past 3 months. He hasn't been playing at all. Now that he's actually get to play at the very least part time, you're still complaining. Like get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Now I'm gonna continue on. Do you have anything to say?
No.
Okay. Moreover, Shaq claimed that Kyrie's status as a part-time player could create some issue with his teammates. First off, you don't know that. Well, let's continue. Something that would damage the Nets' chances to win, the championship. I had already said, just a few seconds ago, you didn't have him at all. You didn't have him at all. So how does this make things worse now that he actually get an opportunity to play with you? It doesn't. Like, stop forcing. Like, okay. And this whole thing about him saying that he would have put his hands on Kyrie Irving. So what are you going to do? Like, force him? Like, you're going to grab him by the neck and, take him to the doctor's office so he could get the jab? So you could win, your championship? Like, Kyrie feels like this goes beyond basketball. Like what he said in the post conference, he said that life is not just about basketball. He plays his game, he goes to practice, he does his thing, but he also has a life. You know what I'm saying? And if he feels that the virus is, going to do, some type of harm, into his body, or, he's just afraid, to take it, that goes beyond, from then all the complaints that you have about championships and, going into rhythm, because this is the only body that he has. And I respect that he continues to take that stance, regardless if he's going to play or not, regardless if he's going to be full-time or not. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is one last bit of it. When I won my floor, we was close, he said. We was tight, we fought, we argued, we went to each other's kids' birthday parties, we went to parties on the road, we held secrets, we did a lot of things. We stuck up for each other, we trusted each other. You can't do that with people coming in and out. His stance is his stance. I'm not going to get into an argument of what he should or shouldn't do, he added. Once again, quote, but I'm just saying from experience, if you want to win, you have to sacrifice. What you're basically saying is, if you want, you should try to win a championship at all costs, which including your health. And to me, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. he already made it very clear how he feel about the vaccine. So this should no longer even be in question. There should no longer be a conversation about this because you already know what his stance is. Quit whining. Stop talking about him on TNT. Stop talking about him, on your podcast. Stop criticizing him. Stop calling him selfish. Stop doing all of that. Stop doing all of that. You're not going to change his mind. That's for one. That's the one thing. The New Jersey Nets made their decision, and what their decision was that he is going to play part-time. He is going to play on the road. The guy won a championship already. The guy proven that he's an all-star talent. The guy already showed that he is a very skilled player and that he's a very clutch player. He's great in the clutch. Great in the clutch. There's absolutely nothing for him to prove to you, Shaquille O'Neal, or to you, Havenel, that he doesn't care about the game. He clearly cares about the game, but not at the expense of him getting sick, not at the expense of him getting injected with some type of vaccine that he doesn't trust. You know what I mean? So I am in full, once again, support of Kyrie Irving. Shaquille O'Neal, you are wrong for saying for what you said. That you would actually violate somebody else's freedom so you could win a championship. That you would actually use physical altercation, physical harm somebody else so that you could win the championship. Like, dude, get out of my face with that crap. Get on my face with that crap. That's BS what Shaquille O'Neal said. And look, I listen to Shaquille O'Neal all the time. I think he's funny. I think he accomplished a lot. He's been doing great, for the community, all that good stuff. Awesome. But for you to say that you would have put your hands on Kyrie Irving is an immature thing to say. Because this goes beyond basketball now. This is his health. This is his one body that he has, and he wants to take care of it the way he sees fit. And if that's what he wants to do, leave him alone. Quit your criticism. If we have the free will to choose to take it or not take it, respect the wishes that we choose. So that's all I have to say.
I have nothing to say. Let's move on. What's the next topic?
Oh crap! There was one more thing. Hold on, dude. Are you eating during the podcast?
No.
Yeah, you are.
No.
Yeah, you are.
I had something in my teeth.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Kyrie has made it clear that he won't change his stance on this situation. Some rumors say that he's waiting to get a plant-based vaccine, which is not going to happen. You could get that out the way, but that's not near completion right now. Meanwhile, he's part-time player that watches. Okay, yeah, we already know about this. Irving already made his decision.
Trust me, if I was eating, I would tell you I was eating Malta. Trust me.
Kyrie already made his decision, and it seems like nothing will change that. Perhaps the Nets can give Shaquille O'Neal perhaps the Nets can give Shaq a 10-day contract to see if he can offer Kyrie a different perspective. That would be funny to see. Meanwhile, the Brooklyn Nets ranks number 1 in the East.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. What seed are they in right now?
I don't care. The number one seed in the East right now is the Miami Heat.
Yeah, but what's the Nets?
I don't know. I think they're 2.
Let me let myself, since you the one to offer any assistance. Let me see. Okay, right now it's a 3-way tie. So you have Miami, who's 30-17.
Mm-hmm.
You have the New Jersey Nets, who's just a half game behind. They're just 29-17, and the Chicago Bulls is on 1 game behind, 28-17. So
you said it was a 3-way tie. You said it was a 3-way tie. That's not a 3-way tie.
No. It's not a 3-way tie. But I'm just looking at the loss column. Like they all equally lost 17 games.
Yeah,
is what I should say. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
All 3 of them lost 17 games, and now away from this topic, I want to say this real quick. That I never seen a conference this close, because crap. I'd rather show it to you on here. But Miami is number 1, but you have the Milwaukee Bucks, who's number 4, who only lost 19 games.
It was like this last year.
Yeah, Cleveland only has 19 losses, and the Sixers only has 19 losses. So so from 1 to 6, anybody could be, in the number 1, 2 slot.
It was like that last year too for a good percentage of the year.
That the 1 and the 6,
1 through 6 were very close together. Yeah, it was like that. It was like that last year.
No, okay. So yeah, this is it's pretty close. I actually, like the fact that this is happening. So I'm impressed. But yeah, I mean, cool, for Miami Heat. But I mean, I would have gotten more excited if they were like, at least 3-4 games ahead. But they only half a game.
Wait, everything that they've dealt with this year, it's a miracle that they're number 1.
No, don't act like the Nets is not going through anything. And the Bucks, they had to deal with a lot of injuries too.
Yeah, but only one team's number 1 right now, and that's the Miami Heat. As for this conversation with Kyrie, I have nothing to add. We were just gonna regurgitate the same argument that we've been having. That's why I didn't want to talk about it. But you said that you wanted to give your perspective a little bit on that. I have a perspective on Shaq's point, but the thing is that we're just gonna regurgitate the same argument over and over.
Dude, just say his one point. I'll just let you say, and then we'll move on.
All right, fine. His opinion is not surprising to me. I have no idea if his teammates resent Kyrie or not. I have no idea. But everything that I said in the past, he pretty much regurgitated, right? That, there's going to be some teammates who feel like if he was his teammate, I'm sure he would. Because to Shaq, winning championships is important to him. It's important to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and why would he not be offended by a guy who decided, oh, I'm only going to play half the game because of a vaccine? It doesn't surprise me that he would be offended. Of course he's offended. Because he's gonna do whatever it takes to win a championship. That's what Shaq's MO is. Right? Now, we can talk about some of his past discretions. The term, or if I get hurt on company time, I'm gonna heal in company time. Where that came from? I asked you a question.
Oh, I thought that was rhetorical. I mean, I guess Shaquille O'Neal said that.
Yeah. So, but regardless of all that, I understand where he's coming from. Right? I understand where he's coming from. But at the end of the day, the Nets decided to back off of their word and let him play on the road. Right? That's their choice.
Which is what I said earlier.
And they can't go back on their choice now. They made their choice. Now, when they come back to bite them in the ass, it is what it is. Okay. Okay, Malta wrote this, right? Other players on the team are missing their kids' birthdays, Christmas, etc., and Kyrie won't sacrifice. That's what Malta said. Yeah.
So it looks like Malta is also agreeing with Shaquille O'Neal too.
No, but look. At the end of the day, okay. Let me ask you this question. You criticize Aaron Rodgers for, quote, not wanting to win a championship because he struggled, whatever, right? Because he wasn't willing to sacrifice his body to run to get the first down or whatever to win, right? That's what you said.
Sure.
Okay. So now all of a sudden you have a guy who, instead of doing something that everyone else on the team did, and I'm sure not everyone wanted to do the same thing that he refuses to do, they sacrificed for the good of the team. Because again, this is not the Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
They are the same.
That is not the same.
Yeah, they are 1,000%
Absolutely
the same. They are 100% the same. You said you weren't going to interrupt me. Okay. They are the same.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. They are the same. At the end of the day, you have to do whatever it takes to win. That was your point with Aaron Rodgers, right? Do whatever it takes to win. The Brooklyn Nets are not the Sacramento Kings. They're not. They're the Brooklyn fucking Nets. They had 3 potential MVP caliber players on their team. They have a championship window that is small. is a small window, and they already wasted one of those years because of the injuries that Kevin Durant was recovering from, and I think Kyrie was recovering from an injury as well. The first year, when the bubble year, then you bring in James Harden, and then unfortunately, him and Kyrie gets hurt in the semifinals against against Milwaukee, and they lose in 7, right? Like, and I believe Kevin. I mean, I believe James Harden is a free agent after this year. I'm not 100% sure, but I know his free agency is coming up really soon.
Mm-hmm.
Really soon. And it's win time, because you don't know what he's gonna do. You don't know what he's gonna do. Is winning time. And right now, based on the situation that they're in right now, they have their MVP who's hurt. They have an MVP who's hurt. They have James Harden who's running around crying and whining like a little girl over the fact that he don't get foul calls. Right? Like right now, they can use a Kyrie Irving. Full-time Kyrie Irving. Full-time. Playing home and away game, because you're gonna have playoff home games where you're gonna need him. You have no idea what could happen to Harden or Durant. That's why I said them putting him as a part-time player made no sense. Made no sense, because you have no idea when you're going to need him. You're going to need him
So
at
let me
some
ask you a
point.
question.
Hold on, I'm almost done. You need him at some point. And just having him on the road, like, ain't gonna mean shit when you're game 7 at home and one of your top 3 players can't play because he won't sacrifice for the betterment of the team. That's what Shaq is saying. That's what I said. Again, if you don't want to get the vaccine, that's fine. That's fine. Then don't play. But here's the thing: the Brooklyn Nets gave you the opportunity. They gave you the lifeline. You know what? You can play road games, and that's fine. They can do that too. But at the end of the day,
or they could just pay the fine.
hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But at the end of the day,
You just pay the fine.
they're not gonna do that. Clearly, they're not. I mean, they should. They might. What the fuck? Well, I mean, it's not like they have any type of integrity. They might as well pay the fine. I agree with you. They should pay the fine.
Okay.
It's not like they have any type of integrity.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, what he said is what I've been saying from the jump. Is what a lot of people have been saying from jump. Right? This man won't sacrifice for the team. And if the teammates are resentful of it, if they're not, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, if they lose, then hey, they asked for it. It is what it is. So I'm done with the topic. So you can say what you want to say, and then we can move on.
What I forgot what the other question I was going to ask you. What does Aaron Rodgers not wanting to run has anything to do with the vaccine?
Because you said that he's not willing to do whatever it takes to win. That's what you said. Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you can say the same thing about Kyrie. He's not willing to do what everyone else in the organization did. Everyone else in the organization did what he refused to do. So if you're not willing to sacrifice for the team, then yeah, you're not part of the team. That what you said. That what you said. You went all in on Aaron Rodgers, saying, coming up with this false equivalency about how him not running for the first down means he didn't care, not sacrificing his body, and you said, oh, because he didn't want to get hit. So clearly he didn't want to sacrifice his body to win a championship. But here we have Kyrie not sacrificing his body to win a championship, and you're okay with that. And I know why you're okay with it. Just admit it. Because look, Malta said it right here. Shaq said it. I've said it. If you're not willing to sacrifice, then you're not willing to win. It is what it is. It is what it is, bro.
The difference between the two causes is the same. When I mentioned regarding with Kyrie Irving, and you tried to compare the same thing with Ben Simmons, and I'm not gonna let you get away with it here. The difference between Kyrie Irving and Aaron Rodgers is strictly a football issue. Him not wanting to run That's a football issue. Him not wanting to sacrifice is a football issue. It has to do what he did not want to do on the football field. That's the difference. Kyrie Irving, on the other hand, has to do with a vaccine that he does not want to take, but that has nothing to do with basketball. Has absolutely nothing to has
What
absolutely
is the vaccine keeping him
nothing.
from doing?
Let me finish. I'll let you talk.
Mm-hmm.
No interruptions. Okay. What Kyrie Irving not wanting to take the vaccine, he would play. He would already play. He's playing right now. On road games. And if they told him that, Kyrie, we are going to take the fine as long as you continue to play road games and home games, do you think he would do it? Absolutely he would. The problem is that unfortunately you have a stupid state like New York who is mandating people to take, a vaccine that a lot of people don't want to take. You have people moving, from New York because they didn't want to take it. You have people quitting their jobs because they didn't want to take it. And Kyrie Irving, he chooses not to take the vaccine. Why? Because he doesn't trust it. He doesn't want to harm his body because, again, he just doesn't trust the vaccine. Just like I don't trust the vaccine. I don't. I think my original antibodies will do just fine without the vaccine, and he feels the exact same way. So
you never heard him say that.
The whole thing with
you never heard him say that.
The whole thing with
you never heard him say that. Like address that part. Address that part. I'll let you finish.
The whole thing.
You never heard him say that. You never heard him mention anything regarding antibodies. So don't make stuff up, please.
He I'm pretty sure he said that.
No, pretty sure or actually knowing is two different things.
I'm pretty sure he said that. Said that.
All right, you could lie. You could lie. That's fine. Go ahead.
I said I'm pretty sure he said that.
No, you're lying, but it's fine. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure he said it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. Okay. Now, once again, for the last time, the whole thing with Aaron Rodgers is a football issue. Kyrie Irving is not a basketball issue. He wants to play basketball. Aaron Rodgers felt lazy. He's a liar about. He had more than at least 4 opportunities to run with the ball, and he chose not to. He wanted to just throw the ball to Adams, despite the fact that he was double team, instead of throwing it to all the other receivers that he had in his arsenal. That was a choice, a complete choice that was strictly football related. Okay, now one more time, Kyrie Irving not taking the vaccine has nothing to do with basketball. Nothing. That's the difference.
Even though it affects his job, which is playing basketball.
It has nothing to do with basketball.
No, which affects his job, which is playing basketball. That's a job. That's a job. No, that's a job. Like whether you want to admit it or not, that's a job. That's his job.
To get
to
the
play
vaccine.
basketball. His job is to play basketball.
Yeah, but
that's what he gets paid to do. He's not there because of his personality. He's there to play basketball. That's it.
Yeah, to play basketball, and he wants to play.
But the problem is there are requirements to playing, and everyone else met those requirements except for him. Like I said, we've gone through. So I don't want to have this conversation again. We've been through this. Right, but the facts are, and I'm gonna have the last word on this. The facts are, is that what Shaq said is 100% what I thought was going to be the case. Right? He said that teammates would resent him. Now we don't know if that's the case yet. But he said that the reason why teammates were resented is because everyone else is asked to sacrifice for the team, for the betterment of the team. Whether it's in game, whether it's out where it's out of the game, where if you're out and about, either relaxing or whatever, you can't do nothing stupid to sacrifice to harm yourself or your teammates or your team. If you're going around driving drunk or whatever, for example, if you're driving drunk, right, and you play for a team, you're suspended. Who are you hurting at the end of the day? You're hurting your teammates at the end of the day. That's what you're doing. When you're making decisions outside the sport where you get in trouble, you can't play, who you hurting at the end of the day? You're hurting your teammates. You're hurting your team. You sat there and said, "Oh well, Aaron Rodgers, he's lazy, he's a lie about, and all the other stuff because he won't quote sacrifice his body for the team." That's what you said.
That's football.
No. Of course, we're talking about different sports, but we're talking about the same thing.
No.
We're talking about the same thing.
Yeah,
we're talking about being accountable for your
talking about the same thing, but that was
being
a football play.
accountable
That's a football
for
play.
your teammate.
Running with the ball is a football play. It's sacrificing
yourself for the betterment of the team. That's what you were criticizing him for. Sacrificing yourself for the betterment of the team.
Matter of fact, it doesn't really have anything to do with sacrifice. Just make a good play. And
you're the one that mentioned. Hold on, I have to call you out on this. You're the one that mentioned that he didn't want to get hurt. That he didn't want to get hit. So you're pretty much saying that he's not sacrificing his body for the betterment of the team. That's what you're saying.
If you don't want to get hit, don't play football. Isn't football a contact sport? Yes or no?
Yeah. But
enough said.
No.
Enough said. It's a contact sport, and if you don't want to get hit, then don't play.
Okay, but you accused him of not sacrificing his body for the betterment of the team. That's what you're saying.
I thought you wanted to move on.
No. You got put in the box, and I'm gonna close the door, and then we.
No. I already made my point.
No, you made the same point that you've been making since the jump. The facts are is that you have a guy who is saying what everyone else is thinking. A guy who's been in that situation. A guy who cares about winning championships. A guy who cares that much about winning a championship, regardless of what his past is, right? Regardless of what.
You're talking about Shaquille O'Neal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Regardless of what his past is, he cares deeply about winning a championship. And when he sees a guy who's a superstar, who decides I'm gonna put myself over the team, then yeah, he's gonna have a problem with that. This is why I said that he shouldn't that they should not have allowed him to be a part-time player.
The same guy that doesn't want to lose weight. Yeah, okay. Continue.
Hey, listen. Who did you look? You now you bring that shit up now. Now you bring it up now.
Continue. The same guy didn't want to lose weight.
That when it was Shaq versus Kobe, you were on Shaq's side. You were on Shaq's side. Yes or no?
Are you talking about the?
What else am I talking about? What else?
Either you're talking about when Kobe mentioned that he was fat, or you're talking about
no. I'm talking about the time that they were together. When it was time for them to split up, whose side were you on?
Wait, now honestly, I'm lost now.
Oh, come on, Steve, stop! Come on, stop this, Steve.
No, I'm lost.
When both men were on the team, right? And let's say they were literally on the verge of breaking up because they couldn't get along, right? All the stories, all the stuff that was going on. Whose side was you? Who did you say? Who did you say that the Lakers should have kept? Shaq or Kobe?
No. I think I said they should have kept both. I never said that they should have split up. They should have kept both. Okay, but
between the two, which one should they have kept? Which one have you been saying all this time? Who they should have kept? Who did you feel was the MVP of those teams?
Yeah, Shaq was obviously the MVP of those teams and that team.
And which person did you say should have they should have kept? You said Shaq.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you did. You were Team Shaq. Let's be real. Shaq and Kobe, you were Team Shaq. Don't lie.
I was team Shaq of him being the number one option, of him being the best player, of him winning all the MVPs. Yes, but as far as when it was time to for free agent and all the other stuff, I thought that they should just stay together and try to work it out. Magic Johnson said the same thing.
No shit, he said this. No shit, he said the same thing.
Yeah,
but the facts are you were Team Shaq.
But I thought where you was going with this was the of the whole thing of Kobe calling him fat and all that. I thought that's where he was going.
Oh yeah, he called him. Yeah, of course he called him fat. Of course he did. Of course he called him fat. But the facts are, you were Team Shaq. But now all of a sudden, oh, you're the guy who wouldn't lose weight. Well, you didn't care about that back then.
the guy who didn't lose weight, but yet he was able, to be, dominant. That's why the Lakers were so lenient on him. That's why the Lakers were so lenient on him. But what happened when he went to Miami though?
He won a championship, and he got fat.
He got fat, right?
Yeah.
He got
and
fat.
They traded him.
And what happened? Did y'all win?
After that?
Y'all, no. Let me tell you what happened. Y'all got swept.
Yeah. Okay, what is that supposed to prove? Like, but that's not supposed to prove anything.
He got fat, and then look what happened. You guys didn't win a championship.
Okay, and you didn't mention that, and you didn't mention that until now. You didn't mention that until now.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
If Shaq was just as dominant as he was, the year prior, or if he had lost weight, do you guys think you would have beaten
Repeated?
Chicago? Oh, well, I don't want to go as far as repeated, but do you think you guys would at least beat Chicago?
I mean, we would have had a better chance, but I remember that series. They like that whole season was just such a letdown. Because do you know what the biggest problem was? Is that we had a team that was older, that got too old over in a year. We had an older team, and then we got a team that was simply too old. What Riley should have done, he should have gotten younger. That's what he should have done. He should have gotten younger.
As soon as they won that championship, he should have
running it back was a mistake, because that team was not prepared for a third run. Because remember the year before they won the championship, they lost to Detroit in 7.
Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah, because Wade was hurt in that series.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Shaq was hurt too, but he played. But Wade was hurt. Wade was hurt.
Was he hurt only on Game 7?
No, Game 6. He actually missed Game 6. He missed Game 6, and then he played Game 7, but obviously he was still hobbled.
Oh, he played Game 7, dude. I can't remember.
I remember all this shit, man. I remember all this shit, man. But
yeah. But they still won. But they still won the next year, and they beat Detroit next year.
Yeah, they did.
But
that team. Bringing that team back with guys like Antoine Walker and Jason Williams, like that team wasn't gonna come back and compete. That whole year was just them just going through the motions.
Do you remember what seed that they were in?
I think they were the fourth. Either they were the 4th seed or the 5th seed. No, they were the 5th seed. They were the 5th seed.
Okay, they were the 5th.
And I remember the last game they just got boat raced by Chicago.
Well, wait a minute. If they were the 5th seed, then they made it to the second round.
No. That was the first round. The fourth they played the 4th. The Chicago was the 4th seed.
Oh, okay. Damn, yeah, okay. I remember, because I could have sworn it was the year that Chicago was the 1st seed. But but yeah, I remember that when they were the 1st seed. I think we had the big 3 at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Okay, all right, but anyway, let's wrap this bad boy up, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't surprise me what Shaq said. It doesn't surprise me. Like a guy like Shaq, that's how he is. So he's willing to do whatever it takes to win a championship. He feels like Kyrie's not doing the same thing. I'm definitely not the only one that feels that way. It is what it is. Like right now, he's playing. At least on the road, there could be a chance that the mandate goes away. You never know, guy. I know, we're still dealing with this stupid virus, but it could go away soon. Before the finals, you never know. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, Heat number 1. That's all I care about. Let's move on.
Yeah, he's number 1. All right. All right. This is going to be another topic regarding.
Oh yeah. This is all right. We don't have to spend too much time on this. So you have a problem with me saying that you hate LeBron?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead with the story and then try to justify it.
I don't know how you came to the conclusion of me hating, LeBron James. Well, but before we begin, this is gonna have to be the last topic because I forgot that I have to do something.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so I'm gonna save the you didn't even put the title. You didn't even put the title on there, which is good.
No, I Lia Thomas. Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did. Crap.
But it's fine. It's fine. If we have something to do with it, then we can end it after this.
Yeah. We'll talk about it next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, LeBron James. I don't know why you said I hate the dude, but I just really wanted to make. I really had to address this. All right. So let me share this real quick so everybody could see. And I know for a fact that you are going to defend him to the T, but I'm not. So here we go. Everyone, just so you know, I am not a LeBron James hater like Hoovy 186 says I am. I am not. I don't hate the guy. All I'm saying is that there are just times where I feel like he just needs to keep his mouth shut, especially when it comes to politics, and especially when it comes to like this whole GOAT debate and declaring that he's the best player and all this other stuff. Like to me, he just needs to stop that. He needs to stop that. So let's continue with this. So LeBron James posts cryptic Instagram message after Lakers win, mentioned me with MJ and Brady like you're supposed to.
Which is funny that he should say that, because right now his team's not good right now.
And
not good.
How come it's okay for you to say that, but if I had said that, I'm a LeBron hater?
No, you said that if you said in actual fact that his team is no good, what's there to argue? That's a fact.
Okay, so I should be right about that.
Yeah, but that's not what this is about.
Okay. So oh crap, let me get out of here before we get copyrighted. Can you X this out? Oh, you can't.
No, just scroll up to the title. That's it.
All right. So let me see. Okay, let's just go. To the quote. All right, let's start here. So it's been a rough season, but LeBron is showing everyone that he's not ready to give up his place at the top. Well, first off, he's not at the top. Let's get that out the way. He's not at the top. The person who's on top is Steph Curry.
No, you see him play the last 10 games? You seen him play the last 10 games? I would argue that LeBron James been better the last 10 games than Steph Curry. That dude is struggling.
So wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. You never ever did that before in your life. You always said you have to count the whole totality of the season, not just
don't dismiss how good LeBron's been. LeBron's been good. He's been good. He's not the issue with the Lakers.
Yeah, but
he's been good.
If it's not to contributing to wins, it doesn't matter.
I mean, when you have a guy who's shooting off the top of the backboard, like, well, what more can you do? I watched Russell Westbrook shoot this shot against Orlando, right? I'm like, what the hell is he aiming at? Like, come on, look, these guys, what these guys do is very hard. Like, I don't want to diminish that, but I would never miss a shot like that bad. Never. I would at least hit the middle of the backboard, at least.
This guy said I would never miss a shot like that. Never. Oh my god. No, look, man. Westbrook has certainly, let me down because he's one of my favorite players, and my gosh, man! Remember, I said this just not too long ago. It seemed like Russell Westbrook was just so focusing on his athleticism to where he never wanted to improve his jump shot. And that's why I call people out. I call people out like DeAndre Jordan. I called him out because all he did was just use his athleticism. He never tried to, work on his shooting, his footwork, or anything. And Westbrook is basically doing the same thing. Right now, he is lucky that he's still athletic enough, to continue to do all these fast breaks and dunk the ball and zigzag, throughout the whole entire court, because he would be dead weight also. But what were you going to say?
But my God, like him, like look. So I mean, this like look, like you. All right, so Malta said that Giannis is on top right now, right? Me personally, look, he's not the reason why they're losing. Like he's not the reason why. But continue what you gotta say. Continue.
All right, let me read real quick. Okay, so and after LA's win over the Orlando Magic on Friday, in which he dropped 30 points and 12 rebounds, the King, he's not the King anymore. Like knock it off. All right,
that's his nickname.
Not knock it off.
That's his nickname.
But he's not the King anymore.
All right, that's his nickname.
The King made sure to remind the world who he is in an Instagram verse spinoff of Nas song Store. Oh, crap, get out. Store Run. Shifting the culture. Mention me with MJ and Brady like you're supposed to. I'm standing next to rookies. Somehow they looking older. The altitude of the matter so cold it'll make noise. Wait,
make your noise run.
Hold on. Let me start over. All right, look.
You want me to read it?
No, dude, I could read. Look.
No. I didn't want to get this over with so that you can, so that you can go.
Shifting the culture. Mention me with MJ and Brady like you're supposed to. Mm-hmm. I'm standing next to rookies. Somehow they're looking older. The altitude of matter so cold. It'll make your noise run. How you expect to give love if you don't show none?
I mean, it's funny that he's doing this after beating Orlando. I mean, it's Orlando.
How convenient.
It's Orlando. Like, come on. Well, when he was in Miami, they never lost to Orlando.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they never lost to Orlando when he was in Miami.
Okay.
Malta said LeBron is a king in the NBA.
Well, hold on. Malta, like, how is he the king? But you just said Giannis is on top. You said Giannis is on top. So how is he the king if Giannis is on top?
Okay. What's your problem with what he said?
Okay. Well, he said that you have to mention me, and you have to mention me and Tom Brady and MJ. Basically, what he's saying is that they're all in the same class. Now, and
he's not.
Now look,
and he's not.
No.
You don't think he's in the same class as Brady and Jordan?
No. Absolutely not.
You are okay.
Absolutely.
And then I put in Steve hates LeBron, and then you have the nerve to get mad at that.
Yeah, because you said that I hate the guy. I don't hate the guy.
Every little thing he says and does, you get upset about it.
I know you hate James Harden. But
yeah,
I don't
and I give you reasons why. You have every little thing he does, and also let me also mention this: everything I dislike about James Harden is basketball related.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. No, what's something non-basketball I don't like about James Harden? Go.
Then you always complain about his saying that he has an ugly beard.
I don't give a shit about his beard. I don't give a shit about his beard. No, nigga, stop lying. Stop the lying. Stop the lying.
Hold on. You never ever told me how the guy looks ugly with his beard. That
I don't give a shit about his beard. I don't care.
All right, you're lying.
You're lying right now. You're lying right now. You're lying right now.
I've always called you out on this stuff, and our friends have always called you out. Whenever you forget something, it's an automatic lie to you.
No, because I don't care about his beard.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Okay.
Let me address this, right? Let me address.
Go ahead.
Now, LeBron James. Let me tell you why he's not in the same class, like Jordan and Tom Brady, right? First off, we already know who's the number one guy is. We already know who's the number one.
That's not what he's saying.
Look. We already know who's the number one guy is.
That's not what he's saying.
Oh my gosh.
That's not what he's saying.
Yeah. What is he saying? What is he saying? What is he saying?
That he should be mentioned at the same level as those guys. And if people are going to say, and people are going to say that you are among the greatest basketball players of all time, which he is, whether you want to believe it or not, he is. Then he's in the same boat. Absolutely, he's in the same boat.
To me, the people who are in the same boat is Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, nobody else. That's it. Michael Jordan is the guy when it comes to basketball. He's the real true king when it comes to basketball. And Tom Brady is the true king in football. Nobody else belongs in that boat but them two. That's it. I don't care what I don't give a crap how many finals LeBron James went to. I don't give a crap. He didn't win them all, but guess what? Jordan won all of them.
But Brady didn't.
That's fine, but he won.
No. Now it's just fine. It's just fine. Go ahead. Find the excuse. Find the back door out of this.
Yeah, he won the most in NFL, didn't he?
No shit, he won the most.
And not only did he win the most, he won the most when he had competition. Yes or no?
What competition did he have? He
beat Seattle. He beat the Rams. They were also very good, right? Yes or no? Do you want me to keep going?
What competition did Tom Brady have?
He the amazing comeback against the Falcons. Want me to keep going?
What competition did he have?
That's competition right then and there. That's the
best you can do. That's the best you can do.
This is the Super Bowl. How am I supposed to go beyond the Super Bowl?
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight, right? So those guys had quote competition, right? And LeBron James didn't.
No, LeBron has competition.
Then why bring it up?
LeBron certainly had competition, but don't sit here and tell me that this guy belongs in the exact same boat as LeBron as
greatest players of all time. Yes, he does.
As
greatest players of all time, he does. 100%.
And Tom Brady, you put those two guys in their separate boats. Nobody else belongs. Nobody.
Since LeBron James been in the league, who's won the most championships? Since he's been in the league, who's won the most championships?
Tim Duncan.
No, Tim Duncan won one in 99. Before LeBron James got there. He won one in 99.
Okay. It's still Tim Duncan.
No, I think if anything, I think they're tied. If I'm not mistaken. Like LeBron came in 93, right? He came in 93. No, 2003. My bad. 2003, right?
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, what the heck are you talking about?
Yeah, my mistake.
No, I get what you're saying.
All right, and then I think San Antonio won in 90. San Antonio won in 99. I think that was their first championship was in 99. Tim Duncan was on that team.
Yeah, he was a rookie.
Yeah, he was a rookie.
Yeah.
Right. And then the following years they won. They won 5 altogether. Then they won. I want to say they won in when the next year they won it?
I think it was 04.
04?
Was it 04? Because remember, they won after
because the Lakers won. The Lakers won the 3-peat.
Yeah,
they won the 3-peat, and then the Spurs won 2004, and then 2000.
Or was it 2003?
Shit, I don't remember.
I think it was 2000. No. Wait, hold on. Oh crap, dude! My memory is going blank. Because when we graduated high school, Detroit had won that championship. That was 2004.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna look it up on my phone.
Okay. Yeah, I want to get this right.
Yeah.
And
Because you could be right when it comes to Tim Duncan. I do think he won 4 as well.
yeah.
All right, since LeBron James came into the league, right, which is 2003.
Did you post it up?
You want? Let me do it. Let me do it on here. Let me put it on here.
Yeah, because I want to see because that is a very good question that you asked.
Let me see.
I actually like that question.
And once I get the wiki, then I'll post it.
All right. So, did you answer Molto's question?
Regarding
Comment. I mean, he said LeBron was the best player just a few years ago.
you can make that like look. He's like for the vast majority of his career, LeBron James been a top flight player in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That's not up for debate.
No. I would never debate against that. But
okay, and he's still great now.
But would you say that he was the best player ever since would you say that he was the best player like for the past 10 12 years? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Based on longevity, like who come next to him?
Like for me, the best player because
over the past 10 years.
Yeah, just recently I would say Kawhi was better. I would say that at least for that 1 year when he was
we're talking about 10 years. I'm not talking about 1 year. I'm talking about 10 years.
Okay, well you and I are talking about something different. Well, like when it comes to Jordan, he has been the best player ever since he got into the league. You can't say the same thing with LeBron James.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I go that far. With Jordan, I don't know if I go that far. I would not go that far.
Really?
I wouldn't go that far because when did Jordan win his first MVP?
No, dude, you're asking something that, bro. Like,
that's something important. Now, don't get twisted. Like Jordan was great early on. Like he was great from rookie year jump.
He was fantastic.
As a consensus number 1 player in the league, you remember this is still when Magic Johnson was at his top. Larry Bird was still at the top. You have to take that into consideration also.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take that into consideration. All right, so right now,
but I think we could all, agree in unison, you, me, and Malto, that Jordan was absolutely, the best player just about every single year. Like you never, especially when he started winning, you cannot definitively say that you had somebody else that was better.
I don't know, man, because like I said, man, like.
No. Look,
when he was coming up, he still had Magic. Magic Johnson won an MVP. I think 89. I think he was the MVP of the 89 season.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like Magic Johnson was still up there. But I think around that time, I think around 88, 89, when a lot of people, and especially when his team started to get better. Is when people recognize Jordan as the best player in the league MVP. So I think I do want to say that his first MVP was 88. I think was his first MVP, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100% sure about that.
When he won his first MVP, would you say he was the best player in the league that time?
Yeah, but it wasn't no question though. It wasn't like, oh, he's the best player and that's it. Like no, it definitely wasn't that.
I would have to go back and look because I thought that's how it was unanimously.
All right, so 2003 was the first year of LeBron James, right?
Yes, 2003.
Okay, and then all right, then 04 the Lakers. Yeah, then 04 the Lakers. The Lakers. Wait a minute, the Lakers won the championship in 04?
No.
No. It was Detroit. Okay. All right, my bad. I gotta get this straight.
Yeah, you're reading it. You're reading.
I was reading it wrong. It wrong. Okay. So in 03, like 03 from 03 onward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Spurs won 4 championships. No, Yeah, they won four championships. 4 championships since LeBron James came to the league.
Hold on. Oh, okay. Since LeBron James. Okay.
Yeah. And that obviously those were the years. Those are the years that Tim Duncan was playing.
Yeah, see, I told you.
But we can argue. You can argue that despite all that throughout all that time, the last, especially the last one, the last championship, Tim Duncan was not the best player on those teams. Especially the last championship with the Heat against the Heat, he was not the best player on that team. He wasn't.
Let me think.
It was Kawhi Leonard.
Let me think. Yeah. I would say it's Kawhi. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's Kawhi.
During that time, yeah, Tim Duncan and LeBron James number one when in that regard when it comes to championships. Championships won since he's been in the league. And you're telling me that since he's been in the league, he has dominated the league. League MVPs. Like his dude, up until this year, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the only time they had a winning record was when he was with the team.
Yeah, but here's what you're forgetting though. Because I remember you and I had this debate, a while back regarding who was the best player in the league. Because look at where it says from 2003, that year when they beat the Lakers after the Lakers three-peated and they won the championship, and then they were winning championships just about every other year. Like you see that from 2003, 2005, they were so good that the only complaint that they were having, the narrative was like in the media, was that they just couldn't repeat. That was pretty much the complaint, like that Tim Duncan couldn't repeat. Like he would win a championship, then he would close to going to a championship again, but then he would lose in one of the rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like that was really the only complaint. So to me, while LeBron James was there from 2003, 2004, 2005, hell, if you want to go down to 2006 and 2007, I would say that Tim Duncan was the best player out of those times while LeBron James was there.
No, I wouldn't. Because at that time, like obviously Tim Duncan is obviously great, but at the time, at least around that time, you could easily say it was Kobe.
No. Like, to me, Kobe Bryant was the best player when he started winning championships by himself.
Yeah, but
before that, it was all Tim Duncan.
Well, yeah, but then okay, all right. So after like okay, 04 is when Shaq left the Lakers. After the 04 season, Shaq left the Lakers. So you had San Antonio win the next year against Detroit, then Miami win, and then San Antonio got back, and then after that with the Lakers went to 3 straight finals.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That around that time, it still wasn't LeBron. It was Kobe. Absolutely.
But LeBron was already a superstar at that time. At that point in time, he was still a superstar. The problem with LeBron at the time, he was a great player on a mediocre team.
Yeah. Okay. Scroll up just a little bit. Okay. Scroll up a little bit. Right. Okay. Yeah. This is perfect. Okay. Now look. When 1997 and 1998, obviously. Well, not forget 1997, 1998, when Chicago won their last championship, right? Now, obviously, Tim Duncan came in, and San Antonio won their first championship. Mm-hmm. To me, I think I said this to you before. Once Michael Jordan had announced his retirement, Shaquille O'Neal was instantly the best player in the league. Once Michael Jordan retired, then they obviously three-peated. He won all 3 MVPs. Mm-hmm. During that time span, it was all Shaq. After that, it was all Tim Duncan. From 2003, from 2004, 2005, it was all Tim Duncan. Then I could say that after that, it was on Kobe Bryant from 2008 till 2011. Well, I mean, let me see. 2007.
Who was the MVP for those years?
Which years?
Who were like 2003, 2004, 2005? Who were the MVP of those years?
2003, 2004, 2005. Oh man, dude, I can't remember.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up right here.
But it wasn't Kobe for sure.
But yeah, he only won one,
Yeah.
which is obviously BS. Like we can all agree that's BS that he only won one.
No, well, you have to remember having the people who were winning, before him was like guys like freaking Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and Steve Nash. Like those guys had outstanding seasons, and that was when. And remember, here's the thing about a lot of people forgotten: when Shaq and Kobe Bryant was teammates, it was very difficult for Kobe Bryant to win any MVPs when you have a guy who's dominating in your own team.
All right. 2003, the MVP of that season was Tim Duncan.
Yeah, and he won the championship too.
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah. All right. So 04. Okay. Wait.
What's wrong?
Okay.
You did something wrong?
No. LeBron James was drafted that year, the 03-04 season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, and that was the year that Detroit beat the Lakers.
Yes.
And but was that the first year that he played? Okay. So he played that year. Okay. Okay. It's always confusing when they go to when they go from 1 year to the other, and it's a little bit confusing.
But what were you trying to look for?
Oh no, this MVP, which was Kevin Garnett was MVP that year.
Yeah. See, look. See, I knew I was right. See, Kevin Garnett, and yeah,
and then 05. Then 05. It was Nash. Yeah, it was Nash. Like I'm gonna click on it just to make sure, but it was Nash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Steve Nash. And the top scorer that year was AI.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you can't deny that LeBron James was still a star. He was still becoming a bona fide superstar at that time. He might not have been the number one best player, but he was still coming up. And the same thing with Jordan. Jordan was coming up too. Jordan was definitely coming up too.
Yeah, but I think my overall point was you had guys, different players who were the number one guy, who were better than LeBron James is what I was trying to say for a long period of time, because again when Tim Duncan was winning championships every other year, he was clearly dominating the whole entire league. And then afterwards, like I said, you could say it was Kobe Bryant. And after that, you could say it was LeBron James.
Yeah, but it took him the same amount of years to win his first championship that it took Jordan.
Yeah, but Jordan was still declared as the best player even before then.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like you know what? I'm there right now. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let me see if I can find the first championship, the first MVP that Jordan won. Let me see.
Oh yeah, you're already here already. So
yeah, I'm already here. So let's try. I think Bird won. I think Bird won the '86 MVP. Let me see.
Yeah, you got.
No. It was Johnson. Magic Johnson won that year.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
It was Johnson.
Okay.
Let me check 87. 87. The 87 was Jordan. 87 was Jordan. Won the MVP. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to assume that was his first year winning the MVP. Yeah, I'm gonna say it was Jordan because in '85 it was Bird.
Yeah,
it was Bird that won MVP. Then let's look at '89. '89 was Johnson. Because after Jordan won, it was Johnson won it back in '89.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at '89-90. I'm assuming that's Jordan. No, it was Magic Johnson again.
Okay, he went back to back. Okay.
Yeah, back-to-back MVPs. And then 90-91, I'm going to assume that was Jordan. Yeah, it was Jordan. And that was his first championship year. That was his first championship year.
Yeah.
So around 90, you can say definitively, he's the best player, period. no dispute. But just
You wouldn't
before that,
you wouldn't say 88, 89 he was the best player?
no, because Johnson. Remember, Johnson won back-to-back MVPs around that time, and his team. And remember, he's the one that had the cachet. He's the one that had the championships. You know what I mean? Like a lot. I don't know if people really truly realize what a phenomenal player Magic Johnson was and how historic his run was. Now I can make the argument that he was in a weak Western Conference. I can say that. But at the end of the day, I don't want to diminish the man's accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, mostly here, he has Kobe and a LeBron and ahead of Duncan. He has Kobe better than LeBron and LeBron better than Duncan.
Let me see. He has Kobe, LeBron, and then he has Duncan. Now, to me, Kobe and LeBron James are more important players. They're more, finesse players. They're as far as box office. I would agree with you there.
All time, I put LeBron over Kobe.
All time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would too. Yeah, I would too. Yeah, I would too. But we're talking about the short span of who was the best player in the league for a certain amount of time. And I believe that Tim Duncan was the better player than Kobe and LeBron James when he was winning championships every other year. Then when Kobe Bryant had his run going to 3 finals back to back and won 2 of them, he was clearly the better player, clearly. But then
LeBron, Kobe.
Yeah, when he was winning championships by himself without Shaquille O'Neal. Yes,
I mean he still had a great team. We're not going to pretend that he didn't have a great team.
No, yeah, he had a fantastic team. But then that's when LeBron James took over. After that, especially when he was winning championships, that's when he took over. And I know this is going to upset you. But I still going to say that Dirk Nowitzki was the best player that year.
That's not true at all. But you can believe in that if you want.
He was the best player that year. He beat LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. He beat those guys.
No, the team beat beat those guys. Not just Dirk Nowitzki. But regardless of all that, the point still stands. Since he's been in the league, since he was drafted, he has been at near the top of the NBA since he was drafted. When you have that level of dominance, and it's not stopping anytime soon either. It's not stopping.
Is he the best player right now?
No, I would say the player who's playing the best right now is Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic.
So those guys are the number 1 guys right now.
I would say those guys are playing the best right now, but that doesn't mean that LeBron James is playing bad. That definitely don't mean that. Look up his numbers. Look up his numbers.
Okay, so who's number 1 right now? If it's not Steph Curry, if it's not Giannis, who's number 1?
Right now, playing the league playing right now. Because remember, I can't say Kevin Durant because he's hurt right now.
Okay.
I'll probably go with Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid's the number 1 guy.
Yeah, I mean he would have won MVP last year if he didn't get hurt. He would have because that team had no business being where they're at right now. They don't have no right being as good as they are right now with everything that they're gone through this year.
And you could definitively say that he's better than Giannis.
I mean, where's Milwaukee in the standings right now?
I think the Milwaukee is either 3 or 4. Oh no, I think they're number 4.
All right. Well, I mean, listen, we all know how great Giannis is. Like that's not up for debate.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, look at how great LeBron James is still playing, even at age 38. At age 38, he's still playing at the height of his power. And the one thing that I can say that you cannot defend, you can't deny this.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, when both men were playing at the age of 38, LeBron James has been vastly better than Michael Jordan was when he was playing at 38. Vastly better.
Jordan was playing when he was 40.
Yeah. For Washington.
So don't say 38. He was 40. So
Wait.
no.
Wait. He came back when he was what year did he come back?
You talking about when he went to
When he went
you
to
talking about
Washington.
when he went to Washington? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was like either 39 or 40.
I mean, regardless, like LeBron,
Okay.
they played the same amount of years. They're playing the same amount of years, not more. LeBron did probably play more years.
But even with that, that's not a I'm not giving LeBron James extra credit for that because Michael Jordan won all these championships in a much shorter time span.
Right? No, I get that. I understand that. But
So
right now, we're talking about how good they are. We're talking about how good they are.
Yeah. So why would I give him extra credit because Michael Jordan won at a much shorter time span? I'm not going to give LeBron James extra credit because
despite how old he is, he's still great. He's still great. And look, I mean, I'm amazed that Tom Brady at 45 is still doing what he's doing.
Yeah,
it don't make no sense. But
LeBron, I don't want to go too far. It doesn't make any sense because look how great Drew Brees was, and he was 40, 41.
Drew Brees wasn't great his last year.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
No, that dude played. He played great.
He wasn't great his last year. I know he was hurt, and he didn't play great his last year. He didn't. He definitely wasn't on Tom Brady's level.
I don't know. Like they had the Bucks. Hold on. Did he retire after the Bucks beat them? Yeah, he retired. Yeah, he retired after the Bucks beat them. But he was destroying that team until the what's his name? Committed that fumble. But yeah. So, Drew Brees was an excellent quarterback in my opinion, and he was 40.
Yeah, but we're talking about Tom Brady at 45.
Yeah, no, I know, but
But look at how great LeBron is now at 38 when he didn't have the breaks that Jordan had, and he's still great. So going all the way back to your main topic, to your main thing, why are you offended that he said that he should be in the same boat as Brady and Jordan?
Because you're talking about Brady here, and you're talking about Michael Jordan. Like you cannot. Those guys, after all their accomplishments, after all of the championships that they won, they are well deserved to be in their own class with nobody else in there, in my opinion.
I just feel like you're just playing semantics.
How?
You're playing semantics because okay, so you're telling me that Magic Johnson doesn't deserve to be in that same class as Michael Jordan?
As Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
No.
Based on what?
No.
Based on what?
What do you mean based on what?
Based on
what? Michael Jordan, not only was he the best player, where there was absolutely no competition, because with Magic, here's the difference between. Here's the one thing that I wanted to that I mentioned to you that I forgot to mention, right? When it comes to Michael Jordan, it was always unanimously that he was the best player in the NBA. Would you agree?
I already told you.
Okay, hold on. He was unanimously the best player, especially when he started winning championships. You can't say the same thing, with Tom Brady, because there were other years where Peyton Manning was the best quarterback. There was other years where Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback. Right? Now,
the problem is the thing isn't about who's around them. It's about how good they are individually. It's not about who's around them. Like, look. Even though, and I would agree with you that when they started winning championships, like you can tell that he was the consensus number one player. Yeah, I agree with you there. From
what's the problem?
From 90 to when he retired, he was the consensus number one player.
Yeah, it was unanimous.
Yeah, unanimous. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you there.
Okay,
I agree with you there. But that doesn't mean that Magic Johnson wasn't great also.
No,
it doesn't mean Larry Bird wasn't great also.
But the problem is, though, you had years where Larry Bird was better than Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I mean that's arguable, because at the end of it, all it is just a matter of opinion.
Yeah, but you didn't have that with Michael Jordan, though. Like there was never a moment of time where people said Karl Malone was better than Michael Jordan, or or Reggie Miller was better than Michael Jordan. You didn't have that. You never had that.
Well,
It was never even in question. But that happened with Tim Duncan. That happened with Kobe. That happened with LeBron James. That happened, with Tom Brady. But that never happened with Michael Jordan. That's what I'm trying to say.
And look, at the end of the day, like
because look, let me say this one last thing. You on record, you said at least with those 2 years, 15 and 16, you said Steph Curry was the best player.
Yeah,
I've said Steph Curry was the best player.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that LeBron James still wasn't great.
And you also said that you agreed with me. If you want to change your mind, go ahead. If you want to flip flop, go ahead. You agreed with me that Kawhi Leonard was the best player when he won a championship in Toronto. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said that Giannis was the best player at one point.
Yes.
And you said now, earlier in this season,
Kevin Durant.
Yeah. So look at all these guys who you admitted in your own admission surpassed LeBron James at least for a time.
But is he still in the conversation? Is LeBron James still in the conversation?
Ever happened?
But is LeBron James still in the conversation? Is still in the conversation?
That's not the point.
No, it is that is the point.
Because Michael Jordan never had to worry about that. That never happened with Jordan.
When he started winning championship, yes. When he started winning championship, yes. But I would argue with Jordan. I will argue with Jordan that he also started winning championships in the age of expansion. Because remember, the league was expanding rapidly during that time. During that time that that Jordan came into the league, I think Minnesota became a franchise. Obviously Miami, Charlotte, the two Canadian teams during that time.
Wasn't Miami became what? Wasn't that in 1990? I think
80. I think 89 was the first year.
Oh, 89. Okay, my bad.
89 was the first year.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were constantly adding teams, and when you add teams, that dilutes the product. It dilutes the product. 100%. It dilutes the product, and some people would say that that's around the time when Jordan and his team started becoming dominant.
Mm-hmm.
But not only did they have the greatest player in the league, they also had the only guy in the league that could guard him in Scottie Pippen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had that. And then look, props to him. I'm not dude, again, you keep making this about LeBron versus Jordan thing. You keep doing it. You keep doing that. Like that's not about that. I'm just trying to explain the wonder of how good LeBron James has been since he got to the league, and that he's still to this day still a great player. Still great. So and he's an look, whether you want to believe it or not, he's an all-time great. Like that's what he is. He's an all-time great.
Well, I never denied that.
Yes, he is.
I never denied that.
Okay. All right. Then again, why is him saying that he should be in the same sentence?
Oh, come on.
To be offensive to you.
We are talking about Michael Jordan here, who is the real true king when it comes to the NBA. He's the cream of the crop here. Michael Jordan is.
I mean, if that's what you believe, that's fine. That's fine.
No, that's exactly what I believe.
All I'm saying that it's not worth having a topic over. It's not worth having a topic.
Yeah, for you, but but for me, LeBron James constantly do this. When he had his show and he said that he was the best player, when he beat Golden State, he said he was the best player. What the hell? Oh, when he said he was the best player, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with somebody
believing in themselves
who goes out there and say, "Oh no, I am the best." Okay, first off, let's get one thing straight, and then I'm gonna have to end this. If you have something to say about it, then go ahead. Look, this is how it works. You don't go and tell the world that you are the best. That's not your job. That's not your job. When it comes to competition, when it comes to boxing, when it comes to UFC, who judges you?
The fans.
No, the judges.
All
Judges
right,
judge that. Let me finish.
In competition, yeah,
Let me finish.
okay. In competition, yes.
The judges do it, and yes, you can say the fans do it. The media does it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're in school, when you're in college, who judges your performance? Who judges your grade? The teacher does. The professor does,
Mm-hmm.
right? Who gives you the MVPs? The media does,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it is not your job to determine that you are the best player. That's not your job. That's our job. The fans are the one who judges who's the best player. The media are the ones who judge who is the best player. Judges judges who is the best player, not you. But he does that intentionally. This is just my personal opinion. He does that intentionally so that he could, like he did to you, he successfully did this to you, to basically change your mind into thinking that he is the best player and not Jordan. Because he successfully did that to you. Because you said that Jordan was no longer the best player after LeBron James won his fourth championship. That's what you said.
I never said that.
Yeah, you did.
I said the argument is getting harder and harder to
No,
make.
dude. Don't make me expose you in this podcast. Because
go find the proof.
I
Find the
still have
proof.
I
Go
still
find
have
it.
it. I still have it on the group chat.
Go find it.
You said
Go find
that
it.
once LeBron had won his last championship, you said he was the best player in the league.
Yeah, he's the first NBA player of all time to win an NBA championship with 3 different teams and be Finals MVP on 3 different teams. That's a big fucking accomplishment. That's a big deal. You may not want to believe it, but it's a big deal.
Okay.
That doesn't the thing is that you judge him based on the final that he lost. And you judge him last year, and I remember this. You can lie about this if you want. You judge him last year.
You already lied already, but go ahead.
No, you judged him last year for losing in the first round when Jordan did that 3 times, and you didn't say shit. You didn't say nothing about that.
No, I didn't say anything about that.
No, because you didn't know, did you?
No. The reason why is because LeBron James, right? You could say that he was in his prime. You could say that he was the one that chose. He chose to go to LA. Did he or did he not?
Of course.
Yeah, he chose to go to LA. So him, getting out of the first round, look, that's on him. That's on him. He chose to go to LA.
Even though his second best player was hurt.
He chose to go to LA.
Yeah.
Even
though his second best player was hurt.
Listen,
and they lost to the eventual Western Conference champions.
Wait, who?
And also had a quick turnaround along with the Miami Heat.
Well, hold on. First off, he lost the championship when he went to Miami.
He lost. No, that's the only finals that I would actively blame him for. The first one against Dallas.
And
No. Whichever one you say is going to be a lie. So don't bother. I'm trying to save you time. Don't bother.
Listen.
Don't bother.
And the one where he lost against San Antonio.
They're not that whole team wasn't going to win. That whole team, the team lost that one. He was the best player on the team. There's nothing he could have done. Dwayne Wade was hobbled, and there's nothing Mario Chalmers played like garbage. There was nothing that team could have done.
Okay.
No. Take to someone who actually watched the games, who actually is invested in the games. I'm telling you, there's nothing he could have done.
Okay.
There's nothing he could have done. But the facts are, you criticize him for losing in the first round when Jordan did that 3 times. You didn't say nothing.
Yeah, he did that. He lost in the first one and it's still in his prime, right?
3 times. 3 times. 3 times. You said that he's been the consistent number 1 player from jump. That's what you said.
Well, you said that he wasn't the best player in the rookie.
No. You said that he was the best. You said that he was the best player from jump. Yes or no?
Not his rookie year.
All right, end the podcast.
Not in his rookie year.
End the podcast, Steve.
Dude, if you want to get all emotional, like
you are lying through your teeth right now. You're lying through your teeth right now.
You look. First off, I already caught you lying. Already. So, you could stop being a hypocrite when it comes to that because you had already lied already. Now, when it comes, I already told you what you lied about. But when it comes to LeBron, I don't know, when it comes to Michael Jordan, the rookie year when you mentioned that he when LeBron when Magic Johnson won the back MVPs, and you say he was the best player in the league, I don't think I denied that.
You said that he was the best player in the league from jump. I'm the one that told you about Magic Johnson winning those MVPs.
I just said that.
I told you that.
I just said that.
Okay, so when I say something, can you at least give me my credit?
Sure.
Give me my credit. So when I say that since LeBron James been drafted, he has, and let's cut off the first year, obviously rookie, whatever, right? From the second year on, he has been at the top of everyone's list when it comes to great players in the league. He has been great since the moment he got into the league. And the thing is that he is still great now.
Hold on.
Shit.
No. I think you're wrong because
Damn.
I think you're wrong because I think the first two, I can't remember if it was the first two or first three where he didn't even make the playoffs. Nobody was saying that he was, the top guy.
Did he make the playoffs the second year?
No.
No, I think he did. No, I think he did. Because I remember I know they had a series against Washington. I know he had a series against Washington. Let me see. All right, let me see. We gotta do this look. We gotta do this look again. Okay.
And matter of fact, didn't you say that you was gonna? Didn't you? We agreed that we would stop doing the whole lying thing.
Yeah, but you called me a liar first.
No, you did.
No, you did.
We could go back to the podcast. I mean, you did.
All right, that's fine. Okay, all right. So LeBron. Okay, so his team didn't make the playoffs the second year.
I told you. So what?
No, my bad. That was the first. Wait, huh? Yeah, that was the first year. 03, 04. 04, 05. Let's look at that one. Let's see.
You gotta go through all this. You don't have like a chart that just shows you everything.
Let's see. Okay. So the second year,
Ninth seed. What? Just like I told you.
Wait, but was this the year that Miami? No, okay, no. Okay. This is the year when they yeah, this thing confusing me, man.
Look, it's basically saying loud and clear, like he did not make the playoffs that year.
Okay, but okay. So 04, yeah, they didn't make the playoffs the first 2 years. But here's the thing, though.
I told you that. Okay.
Here's the thing, though.
Here's the credit like I did to you.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
My credit.
Here's the thing. No. Listen to me.
Y'all witnessing it.
No. Look, here's the thing, though. His second year, they had a winning record. The problem is that the Nets won based on, I guess they won based on a tiebreaker. You see it right here. You can see it right here. Right? You're looking at it, right?
No, I'm trying to let me
Wait, I might have gone to the wrong year. Yeah, I went to the wrong year. My bad. This was the first year. Oh, even in their first year. They only lost to Boston in the playoffs by one game.
Yeah.
The one game. They had a losing record, but obviously, look, Eastern Conference. Look at this shit right here. The Eastern Conference back then. They only had Miami was the 4th seed. They were only 2 games over 500.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And look in the Western Conference. in the Western Conference, Memphis had 50 wins. At 50 wins, they were a 6th seed.
Yeah, that's when the Western Conference was just completely dominant. Yeah.
But even still, first year they were only 1 game out, right? Then the following year, which is I think 04, 05. The following year, they were also. I think they were also. Yeah, they were literally like they lost based on a tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
They lost on a tiebreaker. So you are right. I'll give you your props.
Finally.
Even still, like they were obviously the team was clearly improving under LeBron. Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third year when I think he went to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it was the third year.
And I think that third year, I think they lost to I want to say that they lost because they were a 4th seed. They beat Washington in the first round, and then no, they beat Washington. Did they beat Washington in the first round? Yeah, they beat Washington in the first round, and then they lost to Detroit in the second round.
Yeah, they lost to Detroit. I remember.
Yeah, in the second round. So yeah, so I mean, like my overall point, and then we can end this. Like LeBron, the reason why I marvel at what LeBron James has done is because he's been great all this time, and he's still great now. It's one thing if he was like, just say if he was averaging like 15, 16 a game. If he was Carmelo, then yeah, I wouldn't put him in Jordan class, right? But he's still great, and after all these years, he's still great. That's something that should be commended. So I'll give you the last word, and then we can go.
Yeah. So like when I was giving all these examples of fans and the media, and when it comes to certain sports like boxing, like you have people on the outside that judges if you are the top guy or not, or the top gal or not. Yeah, you see that happening with just about everything. Miss America, bodybuilders, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have people who judge you, who determine if you are the best. That happens with MVPs, all that stuff. All-star voting, all of that stuff. So for him to me, I just find it very. I just find it very, like, what's the word?
Unbecoming.
Well, that's not what I was looking for, but yeah, okay, fine. But for him to declare himself that he's he's the best player, and not have everybody else make that determination, because I feel like, I don't know if anybody else has ever done that before. If you know anyone has done that before, maybe you could let me know. But I don't know any NBA player has ever said, no, I'm the best player and I'm the top guy, or whatnot. Like, let the fans do that. Let the people in the media do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let other players do that. But for you to determine that yourself, that you are the best player in the league, I just don't like that. And to me, I don't find it to be a good thing that he constantly wants to put himself in the same boat as Jordan. To me, Jordan is in his own boat. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody touches that guy, because especially not just with his championships, not just with his MVPs, right, and his leading the league in scoring and all that other stuff. But again, the fact that he transformed the league to the point where when he retired, ratings went down. You have all the shoe deals. He's still a big deal till this very day. People want to be like Jordan and all this other stuff. Like that's very impactful too, that I have to give credit for, and I think you should give credit for. You know what I mean? He was obviously the definition of box office, and LeBron James is too. But the fact that he's undefeated, and the fact that he remained unanimously, the best player, in the league, especially when he started winning, there's just no competition. There's no competition. He belongs in the boat all by himself. If you want to include Brady in there, that's fine. Include Brady. But after those two guys, there's nobody else. And that includes LeBron. That includes LeBron. That includes Tim Duncan. That includes Kevin Durant. That includes Peyton Manning. That includes that includes Peyton Manning. That includes everybody else. It's just Michael Jordan and Tom Brady. Nobody else. So that's pretty much what I have to say. I'm actually surprised you agreed with me when it comes to the whole, judging the guy yourself when it comes to that stuff. So
All right. Well, on that note, that's it for the podcast. We'll talk about the Lia Thompson stuff next week. Um, like I know Steve got. I guess you got someplace to go, or you got something to do.
Yeah. I gotta get somewhere, and I have to, freaking, go to the gym too. But it's man. I hope I can make it on time. But yeah,
Ooh, man, I know it's cold as hell out there.
yeah, and I know you're gonna continue to complain about the cold.
Yeah, it's too cold. It's way too cold.
Yeah, we have. It's only been cold down here in Florida just for a few days, and you're going to complain.
Yeah, it's too cold. It's too cold.
Yeah. Well, anyway, everybody, yeah, this was another long podcast. I didn't think it would be this long, but I hope everybody enjoyed it. This was a very great podcast in my opinion. I will talk about the NCAA next week. Stay tuned for that, and obviously we're going to continue talking about more playoff games next week. Definitely looking forward to that. So this is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
All right. Who we 186? I'm out. Peace.